You wake up early, even when you don't need to. But it's real, man. It does happen. Hey, we've got plenty going on with the Miami Dolphins today. We were talking about the press conference officially today, and so and kind of unique. GM, a brand new general manager, and a brand new head coach, Jon-Eric Sullivan and Jeff Hafley, will be together today, answering questions and giving you an idea and meeting everybody here in South Florida. All the media will be out there today, and all the speculation of who will be the coordinators and coaches and players and who the next quarterback could be, and going ahead with how they're going to build this thing back up and try to put a positive spin on everything. And listen, they know, ownership knows it's a mess and got to be cleaned up. Financially, it's got to be cleaned up from mistakes. There's a lot of work. Yeah, it was in bad shape and getting worse. And so these guys, they came in fresh from the outside, from a really good organization, the Green Bay Packers, and we'll try to fix it up. And I would just say this before everybody, I guess a lot of people already have decided that Jeff Hafley can't coach, won't be a good head coach. I don't know. I do know this, though. He needs better players. Needs better quarterback, all those type of things, or we're going to be in trouble. And Jon-Eric Sullivan is in charge with the staff trying to figure this out. We've got a lot of picks. We got 5 picks in the first 3 rounds. It'll start there, and then try to figure out how you can do it. I don't expect us to be going out spending crazy money on free agents for a second straight year because we don't have any money. And if you need a history lesson, a couple years ago, we decided to give bad extensions out to the world. Bad extensions went out to everybody. If you look like you were disgruntled, you got a new extension. We don't want anything to mess it up, man. So we just absolutely, irresponsibly gave out a lot of money that we shouldn't have, looking back. So these guys inherit that and work around it, try to fix it as quickly as possible. And so anyway, you hear from both. Curious, really, really happy to have a whole bunch of new blood in here, new eyeballs, not people that have just been together forever and come in and make the call to the owners and just say whatever and just move on. And I really like that guy. Not very good at what he does, but I sure like him. So we'll get rid of that and get off to a new starting today with a little bit, and then we'll see how it goes, man. I know yap is one thing, seeing what you do is another, and we go from there. Hey, we got all kinds of other stuff to get to here this morning. A lot of University of Miami news. I said as soon as that game was over, everybody's kind of down. I walked out with a bunch of the UM fans. We all left early so Indiana could have the nice big celebration and we could hear it, and the fireworks going on in the stadium and the 2-mile walk to the car and walking with all these people. And, hey, Joe, little comments and hey, man, it was a tough one. Oh, man, a tough one. But, well, what a good, but you're bummed out. Hey, it's midnight. Your friggin' team, couple minutes left, under 2 minutes left, and thinking, hey, man, one drive. By the way, I was thinking about this. How would you be looking at Carson Beck if he leads them down at the very end of that game? Can you imagine? Can you imagine how you'd be looking at Carson Beck? Not that Carson Beck, he had a good year. He had a really good year. How you be looking at Carson Beck, though, if my man marches down in that last minute and 40-something seconds and scores a touchdown with like a few seconds left? Been unbelievable. Well, I mean, it would have been one of the greatest moments of all time in South Florida
Why
history.
Are you doing this to us?
I just have to, because I'm.
Yes, he would have been the biggest hero in history. Yes,
it would have been right up there, man.
Yeah.
So anyway, we went right from that game, been a little down, got a little sleep. We didn't get a lot of sleep. We came in the next morning, but right back at it. And guess what? The old transfer portal, guys turning pro and sitting back. So really not surprised. I brought this up before it happened. There were two guys I was very concerned about that stock has gone way up, especially over the second half of the season and into the playoffs, and whether they would stay around or not. Markel Bell, 6'9", 340-pound left tackle that very seldom was getting talked about, but had great potential. We've known that. We know Mario loves big offensive linemen, loves the big physical offensive line. And that was one of the projects, and the project has turned into a really good player. So I'm guessing he's talked to some people because he has decided to turn pro and not come back another year to play left tackle for the Miami Hurricanes. I'm waiting on Ahmad Moten, the defensive tackle, 325-pound defensive tackle inside. Also really picked his play up over the last 4 or 5 games, just played great. Fought through some injuries, which a lot of guys did. That's what happens when you got a chance to win national championship. You play through it. So we'll see what happens on the second part of that. I was a little surprised, Woody. Gerard Pringle, the young running back who right in the middle was impressing everybody in practice, and he got some starts. He got to play a lot. Put together what, Woody, a good month, would you say? 4 or 5 games in there, and then did not play very much in the playoff games that took place. But Gerard Pringle will enter the portal. Not the first running back that I thought would jump into the portal, and they've got still a day or two to jump into it with special rules they set up for the 2 teams that played in the national championship. You have a couple of days for that. I will give you the 2 guys that were big names coming out of high school, have shown flashes here, Jordan Lyle and JoJo Trader. Really good football players. And I'm guessing if they decide to leave, there's a lot of Division I schools going to want them. A lot of big programs. Jordan Lyle, of course, from St. Thomas Aquinas, and JoJo Trader from Chaminade. Play with Jeremiah over there, and what a combination of receivers. I'm curious to see what they do. I really am. I was expecting and told that they probably wouldn't be around, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. And then another guy I hope doesn't leave because his upside is ridiculous is Joshua Moore, 6'4". Receiver is, I think, going to be really good. I think there's a little maturity still needs to take place from the neck up. But if he ever gets it figured out, which is, by the way, the case with most young guys coming in, they all have different mindset. You get a Reuben Bain, you get a Maui Noah, you get those kind of guys that come in. You get those special guys, and Malachi, Tony. Dude just knew from day one, like he was telling everybody before he got here, like, oh, I'm going in and I'm playing right away. We in the slot are a bunch of guys that were there for a while, and he just took over. There's nobody that was competing around him that was going to get that job, and you see why. And even if you didn't think, well, this is not fair, they just gave it to him. First of all, Mario didn't give anybody anything unless you go out and earn it. And he will make a change in a heartbeat. So, anyway, this is what happens in the new world. And, of course, we're waiting on a quarterback to see what's going to happen with lawsuits. I guess that we got to start adding that in. This is the second straight year, right? We went through it last year with Wisconsin and now with the Duke quarterback.
Yeah, this is the first one where they've went, like, directly after a kid, though, right?
Yeah, you got to be
very strange.
Got to be careful on that one. I
think if you're a kid looking to go play, you think Duke is going to be high on your list right now? After they're suing a guy?
Well,
the only school in the country doing it.
They were basically saying, listen, man, we need you. It's too late for us to get somebody nearly as good as you. And I'm sure while they're doing this, they're trying to hope that some of his buddies on the team can slow him down and sell him on not wanting to come down here to
Yeah.
Miami. And I don't know how it's going to work.
Well, they need to hire, Jimmy Butler or someone to start teaching courses on how to get your way out of places.
Well, a little different deal, right? A little different deal than the pros.
Well, if they force the guy to stay.
I will tell you, though, the NBA guys, they've got that thing figured out. They have
how to get out of a place.
Oh, Lord, nobody does it faster and better than the NBA guys.
Those guys are the best. But, hey, Jalen Ramsey would like to argue with you about that one,
Jalen Ramsey.
He's pretty good at it.
Jalen Ramsey also figured out how to push the right button to make one of the nicest head coaches, player-friendly coaches in the history of the NFL say, I got to get rid of you. I know I was all in on getting this guy a new contract and an extension. Please get him out of here. I know we gave him a bunch of money, but please get him out of here. By the way, that was part of the big D, too, as in dysfunction, making that move after all that. Anyway, hey, we've got a lot of stuff to get to here this morning. We got the trade deadline. Woody, February 5th, NBA. We got Tyler Hero, who's now played with this latest rib injury that will not be on, hasn't been on the road trip to the West Coast. Has played 11 games, played 11 of 44 games, the guy that led your team in scoring a year ago. Meanwhile, a guy they brought in, Norman Powell, has just been a great story and by far your best player, averaging just under 24 points a game. People ask all the time, ask Ira? Ask Joe. Just threw that one out there, new fresh one. February 5th, trade deadline. Are they going to try to make a move? Could they make a move? Could they flirt with Memphis on somebody? So anyway, it will be interesting to see if Pat Riley's got one more going out the door. Does Pat Riley have one more big move that when he sits down with Spo, they decide this could make and help the team get better? They've been up and down, man. They have been up and down. They got off to the great start. They were looking on their way to going 10 games over 500. They were that close. I mean, they were playing out of this world, scoring ridiculous amount of points, leading the league in scoring there. For a cup of coffee, I'm not getting carried away this morning, but it was great to see. Had some, 140-point games, run and gun and just shooting it well, and then some injuries, some guys out. Some different rotations that didn't work, and you're back at 23-21 in the 8th spot right now in the East. All right, hey, we got more stuff to get to here this morning as we continue on here, but there is a lot of stuff going on. When we come back, there was something happened up in Buffalo that brought me back to my beliefs down here for a long time that is so important, and relationship between GM and coaches on picking players. It's always been, and people have always wondered when things happen down here and guys kind of like, wasn't me, and those type of things. Well, we had something happen up in Buffalo, which, by the way, give me 12 wins and a playoff. Give me 12 regular season wins and a playoff win. The coach got fired. So they're explaining, we're going to have it for you. It's a pretty wild sound that you don't hear very often in the NFL. You may think it goes on, but it does not happen very, very often. Anyway, we got more stuff to get to. Want to jump on it real early here. Recovery Unplugged. Hey, a new year means fresh starts, new goals, and a chance to reset. If your mental health needs a comeback season, Recovery Unplugged Behavioral Health is here to help with a beautiful mental health residential program right here in Fort Lauderdale. They've helped over 20,000 people nationwide with expert care, music-based healing, innovative treatments like ketamine therapy for depression, anxiety, and trauma. Hey, make this the year you put yourself first. If you know somebody that's off the road a little bit and could use a little help, they're in a funk. Call 954-737-4508 or visit recoveryunplugged.com. New year, new you. Recovery Unplugged. Heal out loud.
Today's topics are
All right, welcome back. We're just talking about other teams going through a little bit of drama right now. Not the Dolphins, not right now. But what's going on in Buffalo? A very weird press conference with the GM and the owner sitting next to each other, trying to explain what had happened, letting their 9-year head coach, who won a lot of games. Do you have it, Woody? Let's play a little bit of this. This is very entertaining.
Yeah, well, this is them talking about their receiver, who's been, in and out of the lineup, whatever, Keon Coleman from Florida State. But this is one of the more bizarre things you'll ever hear. Here you go.
Yeah,
Can I interrupt? I'll address the Keon situation. The coaching staff pushed to draft Keon. I'm not saying Brandon wouldn't have drafted him, but he wasn't his next choice. That was Brandon being a team player and taking advice of his coaching staff, who felt strongly about the player. And, he's taken, for some reason, heat over it and not saying a word about it. But I'm here to tell you the true story.
Whew, man. Keon Coleman, of course, is the Florida State receiver who, he's obviously got some talent and he's made some plays for him, but he got suspended a couple of times. He got benched for being late or not showing up at all. I can't remember now. That thing about being late is getting real popular around the NFL. Guys late for meetings or deciding they want to come later or whatever. And some teams are really hard on it. And the Bills were one of those teams that said, no, he won't be suiting up today. And then they came out and said, why? It's just a really bad look. And I like Terry Pagula. I do. He's a big tennis guy, and we have a chance to do a little bonding. But I got to tell you, man, that is
It's insane is what it is, right?
So it's like
it's one of the most bizarre comments you'll ever hear.
It's like Brandon's, sitting there, and he looks really bad, like he threw everybody under the bus. And Terry asked him, what the hell happened? He goes, well, I didn't really want to. We talk about this all the time. We always talk, and they sit in the same box. It's right next to where we do the games. And, he's sitting up there, and he's going, what the hell? And he goes, I never wanted that guy. The damn coaches wanted him, and this is what we get. That's always the belief is through the years. And by going back, it was really bad many, many years ago during our 25 years of problems, just to put it nicely. I don't know if anybody remembers, but it was Jeff Ireland was involved, and then somebody that was sitting up with them would run down to the head coach and tell him what was being said and why isn't this guy playing, and and I drafted this guy and they won't play him because they don't think he's very good. He needs to play. And hey, and it's been a fear of a lot of coaches that when GMs and head coaches sit next to each other, wasn't me. What the hell's going on? Anyway, I don't have.
That's a really bad look, though, man. And I'm guessing players there are not thrilled about that either.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right? You think players love to hear the owner trashing a guy like that?
Probably.
Which is not smart regardless, because now the guy
not.
can't stay.
But
that's one problem. Now he has no trade value. That's another.
I just think a lot of guys, Woody, it's just they know the guy was obviously a screw up if he's not showing up to stuff. And I'm guessing, if the truth be known, Josh is not a big fan of the guy either, right? The receiver, right?
That I couldn't tell you, but
what do you think though? If he's late and he can't show up, so you got to suspend him and he can't play.
I'm guessing he's
that's
not
all
well
I'm saying.
liked, but
everybody else is showing up there.
But still, man, for the owner to get up there with the GM sitting next to him, who he just promoted,
terrible look,
and throw it on the coach.
Well, he was trying to justify the move of.
It's not like this was some late pick, man.
No,
this was a high pick.
Wasn't a high second round pick, I
think. It was
think
like the first pick of that round.
Yeah.
Something like that. But then, like, the funny thing is people start digging, and because now you can do this, and they found, so like the Bills put out something. This was like from the day before the draft, and this is the GM talking.
Basically, when I went to bed that night, I was like, it's Keon unless someone just blows us away. We didn't feel anything was attractive enough for us to pass up on Keon.
All things considered, get the guy who's feels the best fit. Yep.
I know this might be obvious, but so tomorrow, who are we picking?
We're just going to keep trading more. We're going to get 14 fifths. Barring someone offering us something stupid, we'll take Keon Coleman.
Yeah.
So there you go.
So you kind of flip the story a little bit. Yeah. After
But
a
be
year.
careful if you're the GM. You're going to do a little documentary, for the Bill's website there.
Yeah, we could track anything you said.
Oh,
down.
they did. They tracked it down. It didn't take long.
Woody, I didn't know that. That
Is
was
that guy
very,
nuts though? Like, you're gonna
that's
sit up
very
there and
funny.
say that like you had nothing to do with the pick? I mean,
Hey, not my number one guy, and then
he's
we
a
got
team
him saying
player.
that. Yeah, right.
Jeez, man.
And you wonder how GMs last a long time. There's how you do it,
Yeah, that's actually a good point. Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's how you can extend your time.
So anyway,
Do we ever hear the Dolphins do something direct like that
No.
with Chris?
no, our owner would never do that.
Right? Yeah, I
He
would
just doesn't.
think so.
That's not Stephen. That's never been Stephen Ross's thing to get in the middle and by the way, yeah, he's got his own guys he sits with, and the GM does not sit with them, as far as I know. I can't speak on the road, but at home. And
Can you imagine the two of them sitting up there and they go, well, Chris didn't want Tua.
yeah,
That wasn't his call.
I've been bothered. I have been bothered through the years when we do really dysfunctional things that are just
Mhm.
absolute whiffs. And we never get anybody to come clean. We never get anybody to go,
But
I
it's
mean,
the GM, though. It's his. Look, at the end of the day, it's the GM's decision.
right.
Right? Isn't that their whole deal?
Hey, man, I'm with you. Like, if Mike McDaniel's jumping up and down and going, I wanted that guy, I'm like, hey, Mike, honestly, man, I appreciate what you want.
Yeah, you're the coach.
You're the coach.
You coach who we give you.
That's right. Let's make it clear. I'm the one that's going to take the heat for this, if this guy, if he doesn't work out, not the coach. So let's make sure we keep it that way. But hey, this is one thing that Jon-Eric Sullivan came out and said, and I thought it was so important because of exactly what we're talking about. And I was going to circle around to that for you. The GM has to say, and this guy came out, Jon-Eric Sullivan must have come out in the interview. I'm guessing they talked about it. Like, hey, at the end of the day, we're going to have a lot of coaches in there and a lot of people to give information to me and give me their opinion. But at the end of the day, I'm going to pick the players. I'm picking the players, and I'm going to do what's best for the organization. Jon-Eric Sullivan, that's how you do it. The guy doesn't work out. He gets coached up. It doesn't work out. Then, you know what's going to happen. But I like that, man. You can't have – and not to bring up Chris Greer because it's over and we're starting, it's new start. But that was a big issue, and everybody knows it. Inside and outside the organization was sit around, and Chris goes in with his guys, and we've been working on this for 6 months. This is the guys we really like. And, the team go, oh, not us, man. We worked this guy out and that guy after the season, and this is who we like. Okay. Well, I don't want to be fighting about, with you if if it doesn't work out. So we'll take your guy, but just doesn't work. Just doesn't work. Even if the coach is right on it, it just doesn't work. One group does a lot of work on it, and they want their coaches, and they should sell their coaches on the guys they're drafting. Anyway, that's that was
I thought that was pretty wild.
that was wild.
Yeah.
I didn't know you had that backup sound. You got
I
me on
sprung
that
you on
one.
that one.
Yeah.
There's always receipts these days, though, man.
Got to be careful,
You know?
right?
Yep.
Well, I was just saying that to say it, at the time.
Yeah, sure. I wanted to put my support behind the pick. Even though it wasn't
man,
mine.
I
Just in case. Well, what if the guy ended up being good? Then you can take the credit for it.
Yeah. Well, listen, as they always say, we're not going to hit on every pick. We hear that over and over, and it's true. Nobody's going, 10 for 10 or 8 for 8 or 7 for 7. If you have a smaller class, 5 for 5, you're not going to hit on every pick. But I always like to say this. I do like to have a high percentage of hits on those first 3 rounds. Always been first, second, and third round guys, man. And then, hey, you hit on a 4, you hit on a 5, you hit on a 6 or a 7, and they become really good, solid players or even better, which, you get occasionally. You're going, all right, man, we've really got this figured out. I'll tell you one thing. I told somebody last night, we played the Green Bay Packers on a Thursday night football game, Thanksgiving, never forget. Last game, of course, couldn't be the first game. Last game of the night, we got the Chili Willy game. And getting ready for that game, they had draft picks all over that team. They had their draft picks more than anybody else. I think the whole offensive line was their guys, whether they were rookie free agents that they developed to draft picks. They had a team full like just about nobody's business. There's some other teams that do it, but boy, that was and they've always been known for that. Green Bay Packers have always been, we wanted to develop our own guys. The draft is really important to us. And if anything, we want more draft picks. So, again, I think we've learned a lesson on that free agent thing that we did and that extension of free agent guys and give them this money and give them that money. Anyway, hopefully we're going to talk to Jimmy Johnson and we'll talk about some of those things. Anyway, so we'll get into some of that stuff and go. Hey, we're going to go to break here real quickly. We'll be right back after this.
Hurricanes basketball plays here.
Joe the Sun, head out to the Toyota of Hollywood hotline. Shop over 2,000 Toyotas on sale at one location. Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. ToyotaofHollywood.com.
All right, Woody, always a pleasure this morning since we're sitting here talking about GMs and head coaches and relationships. Jimmy Johnson, Hall of Fame coach, joins us from the Keys this morning. Jimmy, how you doing?
Well, Joe, I'm doing good. It's raining outside, so I had to delay my walk. So I figured I'd call in and say hello.
Well, listen, I got to tell you, I had a great time the other night. That was fun, and what a hell of a game.
It was. And as disappointed as was that we didn't get the national championship, I tell you that the Hurricanes had a great year and they did a great job. They were fun to watch. Like I said, I would have loved to have seen a little better ending, a little bit better throw there at the end, or maybe not a blocked punt. But you got to give Indiana credit. They had a great year. But I'm proud of the Hurricanes, the way they've come back over the last couple of years.
Well, I got to tell you, you were a proud daddy before that game, boy. I could tell your team, and you made no bones about it, your favorite team, a team you coach and had success with, to see them in that national championship game was really fun. Hey, we got a lot of business to get to here. The game has changed, obviously, a lot. You've seen it. You've seen it since your days with Jerry and everything else. But I've got to ask you, first of all, about this John Harbaugh. 5-year, $100 million, not the money, but reports directly to the owner rather than to Joe Shane as general manager. What'd you think about that? Can it work that way when the head coach is kind of, when there's something that comes up, he goes, I'm going to go ahead and call the owner on this one. What was your thoughts on that?
Yeah, Joe, I think it depends on the individuals. I think without question, the general manager and the head coach, they've got to work hand in hand. Now, obviously, coming in two new, individuals at the same time, it makes it easier for them to work hand in hand. But, if it's the right kind of guy, if as far as John Harbaugh and with Shane, if they get along and they work together, then it'll work. It doesn't make any difference who you answer to and who makes the final call. It's really a collaborative type effort. They've got to work together.
Yeah. So Jimmy, you get down and listen, I understand when on draft day and you're sitting there and the boards are all made up and your O-line coach likes this guy a little bit more and your D-line guy and your head coach might and your GM sitting there. But somebody's got to make the final call, right? Does it ever get down to that where you're going, all right, we got three guys we really like, but guys, we're going with this guy?
Well, yeah, the way I used to work it is that I wanted our guys to make the decision that I wanted them to make. And I would work it around to where, if I wanted a certain player, I would talk about that player. They might mention somebody else, and then we would hash it out. And then the more I would talk to them about the player, they'd say, hey, well, maybe that's the right guy. Then I'd say, hey, you're right. Let's go. Let's take him. And so you got to be somewhat diplomatic about it.
Yeah.
But it's a process of working together on that. And you've got to be good enough salesman as the head guy to where they're going to be on the same page with you. Because, and like I've told people before that have come down and talked to me about, the draft and the keys and all that stuff, I'd say, you really, if you all work together, if the scouts and the coaches, if they all make that kind of decision, and then it's going to work. Because if it's a general manager making the pick and the coach doesn't like him, well, then the coach is not going to develop that player. Or if it's the coach that makes the pick and the general manager doesn't like it, he sits next to the owner right. And he says, well, I didn't want that guy in the first place. I don't know why the coach sold me on him. And so they've got to work together.
Jimmy, you went into, people forget this because they just remember the great years of the Dallas Cowboys. When you first got there, it was, I think it's fair to say it was a mess and needed to be cleaned up quickly, which you knew. But the first thing you do is your first pick, if I'm not mistaken, is Troy Aikman in 1989 when you get there. Is that right? Like you went out and go, we got to get a quarterback.
Yeah, that was the first pick, but we made some moves before that. Right off the bat, I knew that Steve Fuller, the starting quarterback, was not who I wanted. I wanted Troy. And so I traded Steve Fuller to Kansas City for a third-round pick. So that was the first move. And then we got into the draft, and so I had some people, Sports Illustrated had Tony Mandrich on the cover as the greatest player of all time.
Right.
And I had some of my scouts saying, hey, if you'll take Mandrich at left tackle, you'll have an all-pro left tackle for 15 years. I said, no, I'm going to take a quarterback, and his name's Troy Aikman.
Right.
And so, but actually, Troy didn't even make all Pac-8 back then. Rodney Peete was the top quarterback in that conference that year. But I knew Troy was going to be my guy. And then, as it turned out later on in the supplemental draft, I took Steve Walsh. But I took him just because I wanted to trade him later for more picks.
Yeah, which, by the way, I think you've messed up all those big draft picks because it was for that trade. Nobody will ever trade with you after that again, Jimmy. You could never be trusted for lopsided trades.
Well, the Herschel Walker trade did give us a few extra picks, which helped us.
Hey, so Jimmy, I always wonder this as we got a new relationship, Jon-Eric Sullivan now and Jeff Hafley, as you just mentioned, both come from Green Bay, both know each other. I like it. I like getting fresh blood in here, and these guys at Green Bay, Jimmy, you talk about, like you, draft matters, man. They're all about the draft in Green Bay.
And that's what the Dolphins have to do. They've got to build back through the draft. There are going to be some setbacks, as we know, with the salary cap and with Tua's contract, et cetera, et cetera. But the two of them working together, and they both have great experience. They've done a great job at Green Bay as far as drafting players. And so the two of them working together, I think, can get this thing back on track. And it may take a year or so, but, hey, in the long run, it'll be a benefit for the Dolphins.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. Hey, so the other part of this I did want to ask you about is the quarterback conversation. If you're in this league right now and you're in a situation where maybe there's only one quarterback, I haven't even asked you, but you got to watch this Mendoza kid. What'd you think about him as potentially the first overall pick?
Well, in fact, I was talking to Mark Davis and Tom Brady there on the sideline. Obviously they were taking a long look at him. I said, I was fortunate, in our first year that Troy was available. And so we took him with the first pick. I said, you may be falling into the same situation with Mendoza. Everything that I've seen about him, he's smart. He's a big quarterback, 6'4", 225 pounds or thereabouts. He's got a very accurate arm. He's a very accurate passer. So I said, hey, and I told Brady, I said, besides that, he really can outrun you by a mile. I said, he's an outstanding runner. I mean, I was surprised watching him play, not only in that game, but, throughout the playoffs, he ran with the football and he's got good speed. So, yeah, I don't know if he's the guy, but from what I've seen, I don't think that you can go wrong with him.
What do you do if you can't, though? So we're sitting there in our situation right now, the Dolphins, and they're probably going to talk about it a little bit. And so you got to either find somebody's backup quarterback or been your backup quarterback in the case of maybe Malik Willis. There's Mac Jones out in San Fran or one of those guys, or do you still reach a little bit? Are you a reach guy with some of these quarterbacks that end up going in the first round that maybe shouldn't?
I don't know that it would be a reach. If there's a quarterback that I can get, late in the first round, early in the second round, that we are really sold on, then you take a shot. If not, you got to just bite the bullet for a year and go ahead and maybe take a quarterback the next year. Try to fight through it this first year. But you got to be sold. Don't take somebody if you're not 100% sold that he can play for you.
Yeah. How big are you on the potential thing? Well, we haven't seen it, but the potential's there with the arm and some of the things that he does. Are you big on that, or do you like to see a lot of it in college and you work off that?
Yeah, a lot of times say, well, hey, I don't know if a successful player in college. You're saying somebody said, well, I don't know if he's got the dimensions, or what you're looking for, in a pro quarterback. And I used to say, well, the only thing is, he's beating the hell out of everybody in college. What's the difference?
Right.
And, if a guy's a good player, I said, before you look at all height, weight, speed, character, playmaker, aggressiveness, competitiveness, all that stuff, I said, identify him. Is he a good player? I mean,
Right.
he really is. Yeah, he really is successful in college. Well, that's what you got to go off of. Now, some of the other things, it may knock him down a little bit, but you've identified him as a great player. He's going to be playing against the same guys, 5 years from now that he's playing, playing against right now in college. And so the potential thing, a lot of those potential players, they end up, they play in pro football for a couple of years because they always say, well, he's got potential. Well, he's still not doing it. You got to make sure he's doing it first.
Yeah. Jimmy, I wanted to ask you, you did it. You were in control of everything. You worked as hard at the draft as you did at coaching and policing the program and everything. Is that doable in today's game to put all the different hats on that you were wearing year round? No,
Joe. And in fact, that was really a detriment for me when I came to the Dolphins. I did it with the Cowboys, and I was general manager and head coach with the Dolphins. And with free agency, with a salary cap, with all the moves that you got to make throughout the year, you really have to have a top personnel man helping you, even though you may make the final call. You've got to have top personnel people. And back then, you had about 8 coaches, and you had 4 or 5 scouts. Now there's about 35 of them,
right.
And so it's a different world, with the salary cap and with free agency. And the other thing too, with the roster limit throughout the year, you've got to bring people in. You've got to play. Get free agents. That step in for maybe an injured player, and so those personnel people have got to be working around the clock. 12 months out of the year. Building that roster.
Jimmy, I'll leave you with this one. I'm just not big on this 18th game, adding this 18th game, just because how banged up the league is by the end of the year. Some of these teams that look so good at the beginning, by the end, like the 49ers, a great example, just beaten up, had no chance against Seattle. What do you think about adding that 18th game for regular season?
As a coach, I mean, you just deal with what the rules are.
Yeah.
But all the owners, they want 18 games. That's more money.
Correct.
As a fan, I wish they had 35 games. Because I'm in a little bit of a state of depression right now. I'm in a bad mood because I've got next Sunday and then the Super Bowl, and then I'm out of football. What the hell do I do? Watch basketball?
No, I think what you do is you allow all those guys to come down and see you at the bar. Very few get to the house, but meet them at the bar and give them a little bit of time. That's what you do, Jimmy.
Really, I haven't done this before because I've always been working with Fox, and so I was ready for the season to be over with. But now, hey, geez, I'm gonna be sick. I'm not gonna have any football to watch.
Hey, Jimmy, before I let you go, I just got to have a little laugh. And I'm not getting into anything. I want to thank you for all the entertainment in our box the other night. You could not make all that up, so thank you.
Well, I had a ball. I had a good time seeing my buddy Belichick and his girlfriend. So we had a good time.
We did. That was a little bit of everything in there, man. It was great, and it was a hell of a game. Hey, Jimmy, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it on this rainy day. Thank you.
All right, Joe. Talk to you later.
All right, Jimmy Johnson, Hall of Fame coach, joining us this morning. Talk a little bit of football with you. And right now, you got to go to break. But before we do, protect your home with Loctite Impact Windows, Doors, and Roofing. I know it's not hurricane season, but I always say hurricane season is right around the corner. Are you doing everything you can to protect your home? If you got an old leaky roof, replace your old roof now and you can pay later. Loctite Impact offers the highest quality roofing materials with lifetime warranty plus thousands of 5-star reviews. Save big on their legendary state-of-the-art Impact windows and doors. Impact windows as low as $6 per window per month installed. Don't wait for the next storm. Visit LoctiteImpact.com. Again, LoctiteImpact.com or call 954-500-LOCK. They got a great staff. They answer all your questions. covering all of South Florida. Hey, Chev, the CEO over there, is serious and going to be very competitive with his prices to make sure you get exactly what you want. That's Loctite Impact Windows, Doors, and Roofing.
W
us with your price either at Doral Volkswagen. Visit us at Doral Volkswagen or at DoralVolkswagen.com. Starting with the Heat, who will be in Portland tonight to take on the Blazers. Tip-off is at 10, and the game can be heard on 104.3 FM. And to the Panthers, who will kick off a 3-game road trip in Winnipeg. The puck drops at 8, and the game can be heard on 5:60 a.m. The Joe Rose Show continues now. All right, Joe, before we get back to it, here's we welcome people in for the 7 o'clock hour. I want to let people know Jay Lucas, head men's basketball coach, University of Miami, is going to stop by at 8 o'clock here this morning, Joe. So I know we're looking forward to that one here.
Yeah, we got to start flipping around here a little bit after this little bit of football news and the press conference today with the new general manager and head coach for the Miami Dolphins.
Does it feel like a quiet week for Championship Sunday coming up here? Or is it just that we're wrapped up in our own college football thing here?
I think we got our South Florida stuff going on.
Okay.
I mean, we got a new head coach during the national championship. We got a new GM before that.
Are you feeling the buzz though for these games? I don't know, man.
No, I'm not actually.
There's not a lot of buzz.
There will be.
Because it's not Allen Mahomes on Sunday. It's Stidham in May.
But
but that's the thing. You get these last two games. It's like usually the best of the best. And
yeah, but this is the best of the best.
I know they are. They're the last teams left standing.
And I got to tell you, man, it is really hard. As you know, living down here, it is really hard to get to AFC and NFC championship games. It's one game short of getting to the Super Bowl, and they're hard to get to.
Well, the margin for error is so small. I mean, look at that Bills game, right? That call on that interception, essentially your coach gets fired.
Yeah.
Right? Now you got your owner trashing your players. Like, the Bills look really bad in this, and it's all because of that one play.
Well, the one play, yes, to that.
They win the game if they don't. They call it a catch.
I think we're all kind of waiting to see what the league's going to, because that story's not going to go away on that whole thing. But since then, they got rid of the coach, so that's become a bigger story than just that one play. And now they're bad-mouthing a guy they drafted 2 years ago in the second round, and
they look very dysfunctional.
But they won 12 games and they won a playoff game. They did something in 1 week, won a playoff game that we haven't done in 25 years. I mean, think about that.
Yeah, but that's not what they're how they're looking at it. Because they should be winning a Super Bowl with that guy's quarterback.
And by the way, ESPN actually did as a story yesterday. What do you do with Josh Allen?
What do you do with him?
Yes.
Okay. What were the options?
Give him more money,
uh-huh.
Make him the GM, give him final say.
Okay. He doesn't seem like that kind of guy, though.
No.
Josh Allen. He seems like he wants to play.
He took the high road yesterday and said, whoever they bring in, he just wants to win. And, obviously.
I think it's true, though. I don't think he's that kind of guy.
Well, you don't think privately he'd like to get better weapons?
I think, yes. Well, that's obvious. He needs better weapons.
And
but
honestly,
apparently it was the coach's fault, not the GM's fault.
The defense is just not as good as it's been.
No, I didn't think their team was very good around him. But again, they fired the coach. They put the blame on him, and then they promoted the GM.
I just think a lot of teams are looking around, going, "Wow, if they've got problems, what do we have?"
Yeah,
right. There are probably 10 teams going, "Wow, if they got problems, what do we have?"
We don't think Kansas City's feeling some heat. They got, Mahomes got to get back from that injury.
Yeah,
you got your tight end. Who knows what he wants to do?
I don't know. Woody, their problems are.
Rashee Rice is in more trouble.
I understand, but Woody, at the end of the day, they got a franchise quarterback.
I know, but you can't.
Not
but
Woody.
Josh, we just learned with Josh.
Okay,
it doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work.
You got to put
a lot of wins.
You got to put something around him.
That's a lot of wins, Jerky.
I know it's a lot of wins.
Okay,
but they're in a different boat. They're not like, all right, let's win a playoff game here.
No, they're looking at the bigger picture with, a big special guy, but yeah, I don't think Mahomes coming back from this ACL is going to go away as one of the great quarterbacks we have, if not the best.
Think so either.
I think everybody trusts the GM to get the right guys. They got some tough decisions. They've got some older guys, like you said. I don't think Kelsey's coming back. I think he's done. And they got problems at the wide receiver position. By the way, how about all the teams that are looking at wide receiver problems? Yeah. Hey, the Dolphins need another frontline wide receiver.
You don't say.
No, I know you know that.
Yeah.
We need another frontline, something closer to a 1 than what we have with our group.
Well, you're gonna have to use a first-round pick to do that.
Probably. They're not going to do that, though. I don't think they do that.
I wouldn't think so, but
Green Bay has been able to find receivers, places besides the first round and had success doing it.
Yeah, but if you want one of those big horses, you're probably going to have to pick one early. I mean,
they got a lot of areas, Woody. We talked about this yesterday. I was trying not to hit a lot of it today yet. I know some cities are already hitting the draft, the mock drafts hard, and who they should get. I already see us taking a pass rusher. I did look. They got us taking the best cover corner. All these.
Well, there's a million different options. They're just. I would assume, Joe, they're going to see who's there and just take the best available.
So first thing they have
at
to
every
do,
position,
because of this money situation, they have to look at who they want to keep. I think they'd like to keep Bradley Chubb, but it's a lot of money. And so do they have to move on from guys that are making too much money just because they got to get this thing cleaned up? They need to free up some money to get under the cap.
Mm-hmm.
They got to make look at it's coming. I'm just going to warn you, Tyreek Hill's out of here. That's going to happen. And then the other one that everybody's
no
playing.
chance he comes back?
No. And by the way, the other one, let me give you the other one that they're playing really nice on, and I understand it because you're trying to get something for him, is your quarterback.
Well, that's done.
But you have to play nice.
But what if Tyreek is what if he recovers from this injury? What if he's good to go?
What didn't you see when you saw that injury? What didn't you see that all of a sudden you make it sound like he had a little MCL tear?
So you think he's done? You don't think he'll play again?
Well, first
I know
of all,
it was a bad injury.
We owe him $1 zillion if he's coming back, and he won't be on this thing.
Okay.
This guy made it a point to bring up free agents that aren't the right fit.
There's got to be a team out there that would trade for him, I would think.
Trade for him?
Kansas City.
Again, it goes down to money, Woody. Nobody's trading for that contract. It's a lot of money for a guy that destroyed his knee. I'm not a doctor to give you all the breakdowns, but hey,
it was not good, not good looking.
So anyway, there's a lot of work.
Play though, if he can't return, doesn't that get you out of the contract to some extent?
No, if he wants to come back and he can come back, but he doesn't look like himself,
Yeah.
But Jon-Eric Sullivan's going to earn his money. Let's just say cleaning up this mess. By the way, just so you know, Dolphin fans, Jon-Eric Sullivan had nothing to do with this, the new general manager. He knew, by the way, when he interviewed for the job, he knew what he was getting into, and he must have had some guarantees that they're going to allow him a little bit of time to clean up the mess that he was handed, because they got some tough ones. By the way, you Tua, Tyreek, Bradley Chubb, you got to make some
the whole core of the team, man.
Minka Fitzpatrick. So anyway, by the way, I'd like to have some of those guys back, but I don't know, because of the money. It's like, hey, we like you, but we may have to go with somebody. These draft picks are going to be so important because they're not expensive and there's upside to them, and they're your guys that know how you want to do it. And that's the other thing. You get guys that come in here with bad work ethic or used to doing it their own way, and they're not doing it the way you want. It causes some problems on the team. They're getting guys that want to do it where they say, I love this one, but they're saying guys that love football, or guys that Parcells used to say gym rats. I'm looking for gym rats, guys that have to kick out of here every day. They don't want to leave. They're looking for those kind of guys that, oh, by the way, have a lot of talent too. Anyway.
This is a very intriguing press conference that's coming up here, man, because I assume they'll get asked individually about all these guys, and then I know they're going to get asked about the quarterback.
Yeah, but I don't know
what they're going to say.
Well, they can't say anything bad about him. They're trying to get something for him.
That's why I'm just very curious what they're going to say.
All right.
Do they say they like him? They want him back? Maybe they say something crazy like that.
Well, they say that, and all credibility's gone.
And he'll turn on them. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's just for them to say, hey, we really like, we were looking at his tapes and we really like some of the things we saw. Okay.
I mean, nothing would shock me anymore at this point, but I'm very curious what they're going to say. Like, how do you dance around it and still like pretend that the guy has value?
Well, I'll tell you what, Jon-Eric Sullivan had his one-on-one, what they called in-house with Travis. And he made it pretty clear when he talked about his core guys that he'd like to have. And they're all the guys that had great seasons, played really well, the 5 or 6 guys. And he didn't mention, he mentioned we need quarterback.
Yeah, but once they find out you're willing to eat the money and move on from the guy, no one's going to trade for him.
Well, they're not saying that. They're just.
That's why I'm very curious what they're going to say.
You can't show your cards. Everybody's going, come on, man. You don't expect us to just pick that. Come on. We don't mind having him as a backup, but
Perk or Bo or Omar, whoever is going to ask today, what are your thoughts on Tua and his contract?
Yeah.
What are you going to do with him?
Yeah.
And how do they answer that question?
Yeah, no.
That will be the most interesting part of this whole thing.
Yeah.
Because you're right. They can't trash him. But,
no.
I mean, did they just say today, like, we're moving on? Did they say we like what we've seen from him? I don't know.
That's a fair question.
I have no idea what they're going to say.
I don't think they will. I think they'll try to somewhat put without going overboard.
I mean, I don't think
without going overboard.
Yeah, but how much can you bluff like these other
No, they know. They've all
seen
seen
they get up there. Well, we love them, and if the right offer comes around,
they saw the Monday Night Football game and they heard Troy Aikman, man. That's it. All right, hey, we got to go.
We're just waiting on the right offer.
Yeah,
we really like what he's done here, but.
We're waiting for that number 1 pick to come in.
Just like that clip we played, if someone blows us away with an offer.
Yeah. Hey, let's talk about Atlantic Men's Clinic, ED and low T. And, man, I'll tell you what, if you get both, it is really bad. I'm talking firsthand. A couple years ago, I'd hit rock bottom. I was so tired all the time. And the one I had to pay is when I'd go home and she'd go, hey, let's go out. Not tonight. Hey, maybe tomorrow. I'm just tired. I don't know what's wrong. We'll go get another physical. And then, you got low T. You got full-blown low T. And it wasn't just low T. If I could take it in the bedroom, I had ED. Oh, my God. My sex drive was just gone. You know what? We're into a new year, and I want to share something with you. Atlantic Men's Clinic works. ED and low T hit guys as early as their late 30s, early 40s, and it only gets worse. Half the men in their 50s have it. And if you're going through it and you know you're going through it and you're trying to figure out what to do because it's kind of embarrassing for us, man. I didn't know that this is a normal process. Well, I'll tell you what, Atlantic Men's Clinic is going to knock it out and knock it out quickly for you. Boy, I got such great results. I want to let you know, you get the PSA test when you set up that first appointment. If medically advised, you get the test dose. You meet with their professional staff. They look at the numbers. They put you on a program that's perfect for you, guaranteed to get you unbelievable results fast. How about getting your energy level back? How about all those things you used to do, you're doing again? How about your sex drive back, huh? How about that? Chasing a little lady around again. Been a while since you've done that? Well, if that sounds good to you, it sure did to me, and it works, man. They got 7 locations in South Florida to serve you. Set up that first appointment. It's the most important one, 877-455-7300. When you call, tell, hey, Joe Rose said it works. I want to set up an appointment. I want to find out what's going on. And then you decide if you want to do it. Go to AtlanticMen'sClinic.com, learn more. I'm telling you, Atlantic Men's Clinic's got a lot of great programs. It works.
WQ
who felt strongly about the player. And, you know, he's taken, for some reason, heat over it and not saying a word about it. But I'm here to tell you the true story.
Can you give me the second part while you're here?
Wait a second, though. For some reason, he's taking the heat. That's the owner talking about the GM.
Right, Brandon Beane.
Yeah,
That's
for some reason.
Terry Pagula, the owner of the Buffalo Bills and the Buffalo Sabres, by the way, owns both professional teams. Brandon Beane standing next to him, sitting next to him. And so the homework up there. Now, listen, Buffalo Bills up there is everything year round. I mean, really. And here's what Brandon Beane had to say about the guy that wasn't his number one choice, apparently was the coach's choice. Here's what he had to say.
Basically, when I went to bed that night, I was like, it's Keon unless someone just blows us away. We didn't feel anything was attractive enough for us to pass up on Keon.
All things considered. Just get the guy who's so the best fit. Yep.
I know this might be obvious, but so tomorrow, who we picking?
We're just going to keep trading more. We're going to get 14 fifths. Barring someone offering us something stupid, we'll take Keon Coleman.
That was Brandon Beane talking about Keon Coleman before the pick. Year 4, finishing up his second year with the Buffalo Bills. So anyway, he got suspended. If you're not familiar with what happened, obviously the receivers did not have a great year for the Buffalo Bills. And Keon actually was inactive for a couple of games because of being late for meetings. I don't know what else it was besides just the being late thing. But so that was the owner going to bat for the GM who he kept. and then on top of that, he fired his coach, which means most likely the whole coaching staff or most of it will be gone. So anyway, that was the situation in Buff. That can crack up.
There's more clips, by the way, that I don't know why they made all these videos.
12-5.
But there's another one where they're talking about his combine time. They're sitting in a suite watching his combine.
Yeah.
And they were really excited. I guess he didn't run all that fast in the combine. And they go, well, that'll help us get him. The GM. It just, there. I mean,
it just keeps
like.
That's where. So this, by the way, is common what happens. The guys that, how many times you heard me through the years say the guys that get kicked out of here are the ones we dogpile on. Things happen and we just dogpile. More stuff leaks out about them. So now the owner's getting up there saying, yeah, these coaches, look what they did to the poor GM, Brandon Beane. This is what they wanted. And he finally gave in. He made it clear it's not my number one choice. But if this is going to keep you guys happy and you believe in them, but now you go back and Brandon Beane's caught like all these comments about how much he loved Keon Coleman. Just crazy. Just really, really crazy stuff. And so they're having a lot of fun with this up in Buffalo right now as they're knocked out of the playoffs. You know, the other crazy one, you hear this other stuff about Lamar Jackson, the Raiders making some crazy offer. They have the first overall pick. It's a powerful pick. But them going all in on trying to get Lamar Jackson from Baltimore. Basically saying, let them take Mendoza and we'll take Lamar Jackson in Vegas, who I believe is 27 or 28 years old. Lamar's still a really young guy. I don't know if I do that, man. These guys that are proven guys that have won MVPs and put up big numbers, and I know they've come up short in the playoffs. Like, I mean, Lamar and Josh have come up short in the playoffs, but damn. I've seen them in the regular season against the Dolphins, and they've been really good. Really good players. Cold weather, really good players. So it's just an interesting one to see what happens. Hey, man, this is all a part of what makes the draft, especially the first round of the draft, so popular. It's just incredible, all this all this stuff and the first round and who will trade and how deep is this quarterback class? Are you buying it? Is it just Mendoza and everybody else? And all this stuff. Meanwhile, Jon-Eric Sullivan and Jeff Hafley today, the general manager and head coach for the Miami Dolphins, who have spent the last couple years together with the Green Bay Packers, will have a press conference today as they get set for the draft and the Senior Bowl and the East-West All-Star Game and individual workouts and combines and everything else that's coming up for the young guys, which, by the way, is going to be the core of what we do. I'm just going to tell you, get ready for these numbers. 11, 43, 75, 87, 90, 111, and 149. Those are just some of the top picks of what the Dolphins have with first, a second, 3 threes, a 4, a 5, and a 7th round pick. And that's going to be where a core of the work is done because, again, for a second straight year, a lot of those guys are going to have to play. One thing about last year, they said, hey, our draft picks are going to play. They played a lot. By the end of the year, all 3 defensive linemen were playing. Your guard started the whole season. Your safety was playing. Your running back was getting carries. And your 7th round quarterback started 3 games. I can't remember seeing this many draft picks play, and it might be more of the same because of the problems you have, excuse me, with the salary cap. I expect more of the same thing here with this second year of draft. And there are gonna be some guys who are just gone. Now look at, I'm not picking. I want to make this clear before it gets out and you hear I said all these things about Tyreek Hill. He destroyed his knee. I give you 3 things. He destroyed his knee, number 1. He's got a lot of money against the salary cap, is 2. And the off-the-field stuff, man, you'll put up with a lot when he is one of the best receivers in football. But right now, with all those things, including a brand new group coming in, I think the last thing they want on this team is a Tyreek Hill. He's got a long way to go in this rehabilitation, although I believe the doctors think physically he's one of the freaks. He's got some of the greatest gene pool of a guy we've ever seen. But saying all that, I still believe that he, as soon as they can release him for the least amount of money, they will do so. They will, as soon as he's 100% or whatever the buyout, if he doesn't come back from the injury, and all the other things that I don't know about or enough about to talk about, but I'm going to be shocked if Tyreek Hill's back on this team next year. Probably more so than even Tua. And I don't think Tua's going to be here.
Yeah, Tyreek's off the field stuff is exhausting.
I mean, it's still going on,
lot,
whether
yeah.
she's telling the truth. And I'm like, hey, the Dolphins just want, here, have that story, but have it without us having our name affiliated as wide receiver of the Miami Dolphins. Like, they just want to get rid of that completely.
You got to admit, it is a little messed up, though. Like, as long as the guy's good, you put up with that kind of stuff. And then, like, when he's not good, now it's a problem.
So you think this is the first time? So what do you do?
I think he's had problems. No, he's had problems going all the way back to Kansas City, this guy.
But you put up with it because how good he was.
Yes.
But you think this is something new to the league?
Up, but...
It's kind of messed up. Are you new to the league? No, really. Maybe you are. Maybe you got blinders on. You don't see what goes on in the league.
No, I've heard of Deshaun Watson.
What people put up with until it just gets to be too much, or you lose a step, or you don't play like you used to.
Yeah. No, Deshaun Watson's probably the leader of that club.
I don't know. No, there's been a lot. Been a lot through the years. You go, hey, can you handle him one more year? He's really good. You know, he helps our passing game. I mean, the 2 years – listen, to 2 years he put up, he was the best wide receiver in football. The things he did for 2 years here, well, he was the best. I don't know. Can you come back from the way that knee looked for that shot you saw on the sideline for a split second? Does he come back and look anything close to that at 32 or 33 years old?
Couldn't tell you. Not a doctor. If anyone could do it, I would think he would be the guy that could do it, but he's a pretty freakish athlete.
Quick cuts and all the things that he does. And then, hey, man, it's not just coming back from that injury. I can't say it enough. It's not just coming back from the injury. It's just all the other stuff. Listen, man, we've had things happen here with him. Seriously, way, way too much, man. And we all took the high road. And, hey, if you're trying to win games and, your job's on the line, he's clearly a big-time number one receiver, probably the biggest, home run threat in the game. You put up with it, and we did. And with it came a lot of things that happened we'll never see happen again. Daughter over at a balcony. I don't know if we'll ever see a guy get arrested before opener of a game. I thought it was fake video. I thought, wow.
No, that's a very weird one.
There's just stuff that
Right,
happened.
what is that, like right in the stadium parking lot damn near?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
just outside the stadium.
First and last time that may ever happen.
It's like he can't think that stuff's normal. Now, again, you put up with it. We did. And the other things that came with it, being late and all the other things, and the little fibs that took place. I'm going home because I'm sick and go do other things. It's just, and you catch them and you put up with it. And it's tough. It's tough because other guys on the team see it. Coaches see it. The head coach sees it. Work with it because we need him Sunday. He's a big part of our game plan. We're going to target him 10 or 12 times. Anyway, hey, we got to go to break here, man. We got more stuff to get to here this morning before this all gets out like it's going to be some shocker to the world that Tyreek's a good chance he's not going to be back here today. Hey, I want to talk to you about McDonald's because I'm loving it. Oh, my gosh. Wait a second. On the McDonald's app, you can get a 69-cent hamburger cheeseburger on Sundays and Wednesdays, or 99-cent 6-piece chicken McNuggets on Mondays. So just download the McDonald's app and tap for great deals. Make your week a little easier with the deal days at McDonald's. Right now, in the McDonald's app, you can grab a hamburger or cheeseburger for just 69 cents on Sundays and Wednesdays. Monday, you can snag a 6-piece chicken McNugget for only 99 cents. McDonald's app deal days happening right now. I still love those Big Macs with French fries. Oh, my gosh, they're just so good. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
If you leave It's time for Hollywood's headlines. Without further ado, here's Hollywood.
All right, Woody, what do you have for us today?
All right, Joe. We
sir?
got some numbers from the NFL games from over the weekend. Still waiting on our college games here, but did you see how big some of these numbers were?
No, I haven't seen them yet.
So Fox did not do as well. Their game was not particularly entertaining. You know, the Seahawks and 49ers. They had 32 million viewers, though. So that was pretty good.
Yeah, for that blowout.
32 million viewers for that one. But the NFL on CBS made history with the most watched Saturday NFL playoff game ever. This was for Bills and Broncos. Joe, they peaked at almost 51 million viewers.
Wow.
How about that?
Well, it was a hell of a game. Was a hell of a game. But, man, 50
they said it was the most watched Saturday telecast on any network since the 1994 Winter Olympics.
Jeez.
We all know what happened there.
Wow.
You remember?
No.
Oh, I don't either. I was just curious if you did.
No. Hey, what else you got on those games? Give me the other games.
Those are the big numbers. Those are the ones
I didn't know. I was
the
curious the Bears and the Rams.
No, those are the big numbers that we got for you here. But most watched Saturday telecast in
how about that
30 years or something.
Holy smokes! All right,
pretty crazy, right?
Yeah.
All right, we got early Heisman odds here, Joe. Which you cannot bet on in Florida. You'd have to go to Vegas or wherever to do this. We don't have this down here, but any idea who some of the names would be on this list?
I'm gonna guess a running back for the University of Miami is one of them. No.
No.
Okay,
no,
this is just a long shot.
I mean, I'm sure he's on there somewhere. He's not on this list, Joe. Sorry.
I have no idea.
You got Arch Manning is on the list.
Oh, of course.
Plus 850. Jeremiah Smith.
His last year.
He is on the list at plus 1100. Dante Moore.
Oh, yeah.
You got Mateer at Oklahoma.
Also coming back.
Plus 1,600. A lot of these quarterbacks coming back. Or Gunnar Stockton coming back, plus 1,300. Then C.J. Carr, Notre Dame, is your leader, clubhouse leader, plus 800.
Really?
Now, to me, this changes a lot if Miami gets the kid from Duke. Because I think he would have a very good shot of winning it here, wouldn't he?
Oh,
assuming Miami wins,
probably,
at least 10 games, I would think.
Probably going to be a quarterback for sure with one of them, but I have no idea, Woody. Hey, listen, whoever they get could put up. They got a brand new offensive line now, bud. They got a brand new offensive line. They're coming back with a core of the same guys.
I know. That's why these are the early odds, Joe.
Okay.
Subject to change. We go to this one now, and I don't know. I assume you saw this, Joe, but Alex Earl was very upset and posted a late night video. She couldn't sleep.
What happened? She's disappointed about the game.
She's broken up about this Braxton Berrios situation. Apparently here,
really,
and, just really, really struggling here. And I was like, I know a guy.
I wish she would have talked to me about it. Like,
man,
Braxton's my guy. I wish you would have. If you're upset,
Let me post the photo again.
So she
there it is.
So she's not doing well, huh? Is that what she's saying?
No, she's not. And I don't, thought maybe somebody could have comforted her.
Braxton's a hell of a catch. So what are we saying? I guess Braxton kind of broke up with her. Is that how we're reading? Or they go 1, 2, 3, and they said it to each other at the same time?
It was more of a fact that I was just bringing it up because you obviously know her, and
I thought
maybe
her.
You could have gotten involved.
I don't know her.
Comforted her in her time of need.
Are you done?
Yes. Anyway, we have another.
Why are you always trying to drag me into stuff?
Another cool
I'd
item
like
up
to see
for,
you out, Mr. Awkward and
I wasn't invited into that booth.
What else? Yeah,
I would have talked to Belichick at least.
Oh yeah, you're so talkative when you're in crowds. Go ahead. What else?
I would have told him to be really careful about that will. That's what I would have told him. Maybe you should have.
What else you have?
All right.
God, you got this dark cloud. You must drive your wife. Does your wife every so often do what my wife does and go, I just need a break from you. Can you go to California for a week?
That's you and me both?
Well, it's me,
Really?
but I think it would be you too.
Yeah. Except I don't have any business in California. But
It's a good point.
that would
Woody.
be weird if she
That
was
is
like,
kinda
why don't you
weird.
go to California
Go to
for a week?
California and see your father.
That would be weird.
You're driving everybody nuts.
All right, Joe. Mike Dickas.
I think she said jerky too.
Yeah.
Call me jerky.
So this is Super Bowl 20 here from 1985. This would be when the Bears won the Super Bowl.
Oh.
Was that the game you were involved in? 1985
Yeah,
against the Bears?
but I was thinking a game we lost to the Patriots to get there. We lost the AFC Championship game to would have given us a second chance, and if they didn't make a whole bunch of changes, that was a bad matchup for the Chicago Bears. As physical as they were, they could not cover all those guys.
So if you would like to own this item, bidding is open right now. That's all the way up to $80,000 for Ditka's sweater. The little sweater vest thing that he would wear.
Yeah.
There you go.
I think that's probably somebody in Chicago buys that little piece of history, right? That would be.
He's got a steakhouse up there. You ever been to that one?
No.
He's
I know
got a
he did.
steakhouse
He
there.
did have. Yeah, he
I
did
don't know
have
if it's
that.
still there, but and Jordan has one too.
It's a great sports town, man.
It is a good sports
it's a
town.
Really, really
those
good
fans
sports
were
town.
pretty. They were really into those last few
Yeah.
games. And finally, here, Joe, one more for you. A factory in Maine that makes Lincoln Logs is set to close, and the company is now looking for a new manufacturer for the product.
I used to love having those as a kid. One of my favorite toys as a little boy. I stopped playing with them when I was like 20. They're really.
You were 20.
All right. Hey, Woody, we got Jay Lucas.
By the way, Lincoln Logs go from anywhere from $50 to $70 now for a 120-piece tin. I don't know what they cost in your day, but that's what they
probably 25 cents, Woody.
Yeah.
Like when everything was different.
Lincoln Logs. How about that?
Jay Lucas, head coach for the Hurricanes basketball team, is going to join us in just a few minutes. Off to a nice start. We're going to forget about that Florida State game. That loss the other night, 15-4, 4-2 in the ACC. He'll join us coming up here in just a few minutes. But first, I want to tell you about Baptist Health South Florida and one of the best sports medicine programs in the country right here in our backyard. Yeah, where do the pros go? Enter Miami, the Heat, the Panthers, the Miami Dolphins. All use are great doctors, team doctors, as well as all the specialists they put together, along with great facilities in Dade and Broward to go to. I'm just telling you right now, man, whatever the injury is, if you're competitive, you know how this works. Team or individual sports, we get hurt. Doesn't matter what age, we all get hurt. Knee, shoulder, foot and ankle, hand, back, hip and knee replacement, Achilles. They got specialists for every part of the body. I mean, it is an all-star lineup of great doctors, so you get great success and get back out playing the sports that you love so much, along with those great facilities, Doctors Hospital in Coral Gables, Hard Rock Stadium right next to the training facility, and 595 and Pine Island in Plantation. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho. One goal, man. Let's get you back out playing the sports you love the most.
sports station. The home of champions. The back-to-back Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers. The three-time NBA champion Miami Heat. Home of the five-time national champion Miami Hurricanes. And Miami Hurricanes basketball.
Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
This update is brought to you by Doral Volkswagen. You always pay less with your price seat at Doral Volkswagen. Visit us at Doral Volkswagen at DoralVolkswagen.com. Starting with the Heat, we'll be in Portland tonight to take on the Blazers. Tip-off is at 10, and the game can be heard on 104.3 FM. And to the Panthers, who will kick off a 3-game road trip in Winnipeg. The puck drops at 8, and that game can be heard on 560 AM. The Joe Rose Show continues now. And it is time to head out to the Toyota of Hollywood hotline. Shop over 2,000 Toyotas on sale at one location. Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. ToyotaofHollywood.com, Joe.
All right, Woody. Hey, I know you get to talk to him all the time, Wood. I don't. Jay Lucas, the Canes head basketball coach, joins us off to a really nice start. 15-4 overall, 4-2 in the ACC. Coach, good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Good morning. How are you?
Man, I'm doing great, and I appreciate you coming on. Hey, Coach, I just go back to the start of this thing for you, getting your first head coaching job and a brand new roster. Talk about putting that thing together with all new players, nobody returning from the team from the year before.
Yeah, I had to start early. I had to start right away. That's why I came down as soon as I could and kind of skip March Madness to make sure we would be able to be as competitive as possible and be able to be kind of where we are right now. You know, we're in the mix with everything. We got a good group, and I think that just goes to starting early and getting there.
I always wonder, how long does it take when you got all these guys coming from different places, whether it's a true freshman or a transfer portal guy coming in from Indiana? I always wonder, how long does it take to kind of come together and everybody to figure out or what they can and can't do for you?
I mean, it takes the whole season. So,
yeah.
You know, it's no secret sauce when you have new people and you've never been together. You're going to go through situations and adversity for the first time as a new unit. And it may come in the first 5 games. It may not come until the middle of conference. So nowadays you're growing and still becoming a team the whole year. You're just hoping by the time you get to February, March, you're clicking on everything.
I tell you, I love your two bigs, man. It was fun. The first time I turned the TV on, and there's University of Miami basketball, and you've got Renew and Uday at 6'9" and 6'11". Not a bad way to start with a couple of bigs, especially in the ACC.
No, not a bad way to start. You know, I wanted to build this team with size and with physicality, and they were kind of the first two. I felt like if you were be able to win in, I guess, the form of the basketball trenches with rebound and being physical, being able to guard 50-50 balls, things of that nature, you always be able to compete every night.
So the transfer portal, and we talk about this in football all the time, and basketball, it's just as important, if not more. But still, where do true freshmen still fit in? Recruiting the guys out of high school. You've got Shelton Henderson, who's really off to a nice start, nice-looking player. How important is that, though, mixing in still the true freshmen, the young guys?
It is very important. One, because if you can find freshmen that can play right away and impact the game, like Shelton, who you talked about, but also like a Dante Allen for us. And those guys may not have the ability to be one and done, and they play enough where they're happy enough where they would come back for a second year. You start to build a core where you're not having to coach 10 new guys and recruit 13 new guys every year, where if you keep doing that, you know, by year 2 or 3, you have a good 4 to 5 that have been in the program for a while. You bring in 2 freshmen, you bring in about 3 transfers. That'll be how I would want to build out my roster with that 10, 11 players right there.
So, Coach, I get asked this all the time with the money now, the way it is in basketball and football. People always ask, hey, is it like in the NFL? You always hear next to whatever a guy does, how much he makes. Do you hear the guys talk about their money, or is it pretty much focused? Is college basketball still like it used to be? You're still playing to knowing that if you're good enough, you can go play professionally, but now guys are getting paid. Have you noticed a difference in players?
Yes and no. That's a very good question. I think the best way to put it, the money with the portal and everything has created a lot of parity. So now, instead of your best schools getting the best players, they're kind of spread out. And then the end of people's benches and the rotational role guys are kind of Europeans and mid-majors. So now everybody at some point, some fashion looks the same, except for schools who do it a traditional based way. I think the hardest part now is that most of the kids and most of the players go to schools for financial reasons,
right.
To be honest. You know, we have to sell our development at the University of Miami, but, a lot of the kids come because this may be the best opportunity for them to play, and it may have been, honestly, the best financial opportunity. So my job is to get them to understand what it means to win and what it means to be on the team.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Obviously, sitting here on the radio for the last 30 years, watching all the changes like you have, it's been pretty crazy. Hey, recruiting South Florida, our basketball, we talk so much about our football because the high school football down here is ridiculous. It's so good. How about our basketball? How good is it in South Florida, and how important is it to you?
It's really good. And that was one of the main reasons why I saw this job appealing, because of what the next couple of years look like in the high school ranks, but also South Florida and Florida in general is a place where, kids from here want to come home. And you can kind of see that with the team that we have this year. I felt, and I know this is a destination location. So it's important to me to make sure they see this as a place they can come to. And it's also important to me because I feel the fan base gets more involved when they see people and hear names that they're familiar with or from their area.
Yeah,
gets them more excited.
Yeah, that's a great call. I agree. By the way, speaking of South Florida, Andrew Moran, the Columbus high school coach, who, by the way, with the Boozer brothers and the rest of that team went around, I think they won every tournament. It seemed like the last 3 years all over the country. It didn't matter who they were playing against. Talk about adding a high school coach onto your staff and how important he is.
Yeah, I got to know Coach Moran these last 3 years when I was coming down here to recruit. And, the obvious stands out right away, just how good a coach, how good a teacher he is. But, just getting to know him as a person and his family, that was kind of the most important thing to me. But also having someone who had head coaching experience, even though it's on the high school level, but also I knew I was getting somebody who could be a really good teacher. And that was really important to me.
Jay, I got to ask you this one because I was am such a big fan of your father, John Lucas, and everything he stands for and he's done and all the great jobs you've had, including being an assistant at Duke, but you've been in some great programs. I always wonder, what have you learned from a combination of your father, who's at this basketball background, and all the great jobs as you take this first head coaching job?
The biggest lesson I've learned from all of them, I like to say my foundation comes from my father, and that's just the foundation of hard work and not taking any shortcuts. And that's kind of showed everywhere I've been. Each person I've worked for, I've taken a little bit different lessons from. But, the most important one is just take it one day at a time. It's a process. And especially in the season is long. There's going to be a lot of ups and downs, and you can't win the national championship in January. That you just have to make sure you're working towards your main goal and working towards just getting better every day and taking it one day at a time.
I was thinking of you the other day, the day after the national championship game. You're playing Florida State and you lose that game. And I was thinking, you don't always know which guys are going to show up when you got young guys, the mindset and everything else. And I was thinking, boy, that had to kind of test your patience a little bit, huh? That game.
You're putting it the nice way. You're putting it the nice way. Yes, it did. And, it was a good moment because the whole week there's a lot of distractions, which is warranted and wanted because that means something really good is going on. Florida State had been playing a lot better. They had just lost on a buzzer beater, and the game before they lost in the last minute. So you could kind of see they were trending. The thing that got me the most upset in the situation, and it's just my makeup in the program, the makeup of the program and how I wanted to be, I felt they played with more desperation. And that shouldn't be the case at home, especially in a rivalry conference game. But like I said before, it's our first time in these environments and these moments. So you can anticipate something to happen, but you really don't know. You still deal with kids.
Right.
So it's a great learning lesson for us and a great opportunity for us to grow and finish the season the right way.
Jay, do you have enough on your bench right now? Is it a concern? Is there some things you can do, or is it just growth of a basketball team?
It's growth. It's a little bit of maybe I might need to change some things up and put some people in some different roles to see if that will change some things and help something. But our bench is good, but like anything in any sport, if your best players aren't playing their best in the game, it's hard to win. But also I need our bench to just come in and also give us a little bit more, and they will. And they had in the 10-game win streak, they came in. Now these last 2 games we kind of struggled, so we just need to reset and maybe refresh some things.
Well, you're off to a great start, 15-4. Syracuse this Saturday on the road. And Coach, thanks, man, so much for coming on, spending a little bit of time with us. Hope we can do this more often. Thank you, Coach.
No, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
All right, Jay Lucas, Canes head basketball coach, joining us this morning as they hit the heavy ACC schedule right now, man. They are going to get rolling. Hey, right now, I want to talk to you about Michael Kotze at Choice Mortgage. It's got an amazing offer. It's called the Hometown Heroes Program. It's helping first responders such as law enforcement, healthcare professionals, educators, firefighters, and military vets with up to $35,000 in closing costs and down payment assistance with low fixed rates and no prepaid penalties. Sounds pretty good, huh? If you qualify, give Michael a call on his cell phone or text him 561-441-2730. That's 561-441-2730. Learn more about the Hometown Heroes program and how it might be able to help you. By the way, Michael Kotze has 30 years of experience, always ready to help you. I always tell everybody, go to Google reviews on the web, Choice Mortgage reviews. You're going to find out that he's going to get you a mortgage faster than anybody. He's going to get you the lowest rates. That's always a given. This guy works 7 days a week. Get a lot of the paperwork done so you can get deals done a lot faster for you. And so you can get, whether it's debt consolidation, first-time home buyer, doesn't matter. He's got great programs out there with 30 years of experience. Call or text him 561-441-2730. My man has no life. MLS 166254. Rates and terms subject to change daily without notice. He's an equal housing lender. Hey, welcome back, and good morning to everybody, man. Want to thank Jay Lucas, head coach of the Hurricanes, for joining us this morning as they start to get in their meat and potatoes of the ACC, talking a little bit about the new world of college sports. And, man, by the way, those guys in college basketball getting paid now. I heard some of those salaries from some of the games on TV. There's some guys making a lot of money, Woody.
You don't say.
A lot of money, just not as many guys.
Well, he had a guy last year, I'm guessing, did pretty well for himself. Cooper Flagg.
Oh.
I don't know what he was worth in the college game, but I'm guessing
well, he had to have a
well
shoe
for himself.
Contract. Yeah,
I would think so, yes.
Yeah.
He's with New Balance.
Is he?
Yeah. Apparently, New Balance is like in style now, I was told. I was talking to Monroe about this. And,
Monroe, when it comes to what's cool and what's not, you got to go to Monroe County.
And Omar's big on this too. And he's like, yeah, New Balance is cool now. I'm like, oh. Because I've been wearing it for like a little bit here, and it wasn't cool.
Oh, man, I got to tell you, I used to hear, somebody grab a pair of New Balance, and it was like, oh, people, cheap shoes.
Yeah. Now they're fancy. They're
$35 there, huh, Pops?
By the way, Schefter just came out with this. Have you seen this thing about the electrical substation thing near the 49ers training facility?
No.
It says the 49ers are investigating the viral conspiracy theory that the electrical substation near their training facility in Levi Stadium is contributing to their injuries.
Wow. They have had a lot the last 2 years.
Yes.
We played that banged up 49er team at the end of the year last year.
Wouldn't that make them stronger, though?
I don't know. What are you asking me?
Like, if they're getting all these electrical rays, like, wouldn't that make them, like,
I don't know,
like superhero strength?
You've been watching some movie on TV. Yeah, no.
I don't know.
There's a couple of those on TV. I don't know.
It's not like like the turtles, like they roll around in the ooze and then they
get up with superpowers.
Yeah.
I got you. No. I don't know. You would think California. I'm not going to say.
Yeah, don't do it.
No reason, California. Yeah. Don't worry, people are moving out of there fast. That beautiful state's got people running out of that state.
Somebody just sent us a photo here. This is New York Shine sent us on Twitter here. It's Brandon Beane and the owner for the Bills, and one is wearing. We'll see if we can get this photo up on the screen at some point here. One is wearing the light blue suit, and one is wearing the orange suit from Dumb and Dumber. Harry and Lloyd when they show up at the dinner.
Yeah. I got to tell you, that was a drop the mic moment.
I told you it's one of the weirdest things I've ever heard.
When the owner takes over and the GM is just getting ready to tell whatever story he had decided he was going to tell when he got with communications to discuss this. And by the way, they've been getting ripped for getting rid of a guy that wins 12 games and wins a playoff game.
Very dysfunctional sounding, though.
And so they're trying to explain they got into this receiver because the knock on the team has been the receivers weren't very good. And then he went into the whole crazy thing about the GM didn't want him. It was the head coach, and he didn't want to go against those guys, but he had some guys that he liked more.
You want to hear it?
Yeah, give it to me one more time.
Yeah, can I interrupt? I'll address the Keon situation. The coaching staff pushed to draft Keon. I'm not saying Brandon wouldn't have drafted him, but he wasn't his next choice. That was Brandon being a team player and taking advice of his coaching staff, who felt strongly about the player. And, he's taken, for some reason, heat over it and not saying a word about it, but I'm here to tell you the true story.
All right, so that was Terry Pagula and Brandon Beane, the general manager, who got a promotion, by the way. Can you play the second part? Because you hit me with that second part, and I wasn't ready for it early this morning because everybody's going, wait a second, that's not what
There's
Brandon Beane said.
So this was, I must have done a documentary or something, like right either before or after the draft or whatever. They want to talk good about their player. And so this is what they put out there.
Basically, when I went to bed that night, I was like, It's Keon unless someone just blows us away. We didn't feel anything was attractive enough for us to pass up on Keon.
All things considered. All things considered. Just get the guy who's feels the best fit. Yep.
I know this might be obvious, but so tomorrow, who we picking?
We're just going to keep trading more. We're going to get 14 fifths. Barring someone offering us something stupid, we'll take Keon Coleman.
And they did take Keon, and
there's more where that came from, by the way.
So they got caught in
the other one doesn't play as well on the radio.
They got caught in a little lie there.
Yeah. So the other one, they're sitting up at the combine, and they were all giddy that he ran a worse time than I guess they had expected him to run, and they were just so excited. They go, now we're definitely going to get him.
So I guess the other part of this, it's kind of weird because now they're breaking down, well, what's wrong with the team? And because they've heard about how bad the receiving core is all year. And they every time a guy got cut, they picked them up. I mean, they picked up they must have picked up 3 or 4 guys, and they would come in and play right away. So it's just that you look at this and you realize that they were throwing this all on the coaching staff, starting with the head coach, but that means most, if not all of the assistants are gone. And it's just such a bad look because the owner went all in on how great Brandon Beane is. And now we got all this sound of Brandon Beane's talking about how much he liked Keon Coleman in this documentary. Whew, man, it's just a bad look. Bad look. And the other thing we all do, all teams do this. No, not all, but a lot of teams. We always badmouth the guy going out the door. Sometimes it's justified.
I see Mike didn't get any.
No. Mike actually didn't.
They gave him a tribute video.
I'll be honest with you.
Well, they gave the guy in Buffalo, they gave him a tribute video too, except then they did this.
Yeah, which was.
This is one of the worst, most insane things I've ever heard from a press conference.
I know they won some playoff games. I know they didn't get to a Super Bowl, and I know that if he's definitely one of the top 2 or 3 quarterbacks in the league. I think everybody agrees with that. But, man, that's a lot of winning. And I know he's got the right quarterback. That's a lot of winning to lose your job. And I've had people tell me he deserved to be fired because of some of the coaching decisions he made against
Keon
Denver.
Coleman. Keon Coleman stinks, so it's, got to fire the coach.
I'm sure he's going, really? That's one where he calls Brandon Beane. He goes, really? On top of everything else, now you're throwing that I'm making all the picks. You're not doing it.
The problem is you got to pick players that come from better college programs. You can't expect that to translate to the NFL.
Is that your shot of Florida State today?
No, it's not. I'm just saying in general, you got to look for successful college programs, and I would, lean towards those players.
What are you trying to? I don't get what you're trying to say. Is this sarcasm?
No,
what are you trying to say?
If the guy comes from a bad college program, there's a chance that he ends up as a bad pro.
That guy was on a really good team at Florida State. They went undefeated in the regular season. You forgot.
On that team?
You didn't know
they
that?
Got snubbed from the
You're
the
so
playoff.
busy busting balls on your guys you went to college with or high school with or grew up with. It didn't work. It didn't work real well. Wait till you spend some money up there in education.
Look at you defending them.
I'm not defending them, but he was on a really good team. That team was really good, minus they didn't have a quarterback to get in the playoffs.
He wasn't on the one the next year that won like one game?
I don't know. I think that was his last year, wasn't it? The year they were.
I have no
13-0.
idea.
But you don't get anything
I
in
don't
your
know.
way because you got to continue to be a horse's ass. Go ahead. What?
Radiation. Radiation. That could be the issue from the 49ers thing.
So what it affects ACLs and Achilles and
I always would have thought
ankles.
that makes you better, but
I don't know.
If we're running with conspiracy theories.
Well, you do. This is right up your alley, brother. You love them, man.
Someone said you forgot a lot of Miami Dolphins draft picks are from Alabama. Well, some of them have been good. Hey, man, Alabama was pumping out good pros. Come on now.
One of the knocks on Chris Greer was his love affair with everything Alabama. Yes,
I know, but they did have a lot of good players.
They did. But it was also like Chris would go, I just want to tell you the way Saban treats us scouts. And I was like, I don't care how he treats you or the scouts. he just gets it, and other colleges don't as much. So what? I mean, I don't know. They do have a lot of good players, yes. If you got Alabama players through the years, there's a lot of damn good ones in the league. Saban has spit out a bunch of really good first-round picks, a lot. He has put a lot out. And we just happened to take one that didn't look the part to me. But we'll figure that out. We're going to figure that one out. By the way, speaking of getting it figured out, you'll get to hear a little bit today. I don't know exactly how much you're going to hear, but for the first time, the general manager and head coach, Eric Sullivan, Jon-Eric Sullivan, and Jeff Hafley will be together, general manager and new head coach, today in just a couple of hours for a press conference to meet everybody and then get hit with the questions with everything.
So we talked about this early, and then someone texted in. We were talking about what will they say when they're asked about Tua, and someone was like, said that they'll just say they're evaluating every position. That's
what they're doing.
Is that what they're going to do? They're just going to give you the generic?
Yes.
Okay. Fair enough.
You got him under contract. What do you want to say, Wood? You
Well,
say he's not very good. We're getting rid of him.
I don't think they have to go as extreme as what we just heard from the Bills. Could you imagine?
So let me just
if
say
they were
this.
like, that's Chris Greer's mistake. He owns that. Like, could you imagine?
No, they won't do that.
That'd be fair. I mean,
no, they're not.
They could have a job here for life if they did that.
By the way, I will say this though too, that the head coach just got here. He's going to be heading that one player on the team. He literally just.
So you don't think he's going to trash anyone?
No, I think he might talk a little bit. He's going to get asked about who he's going to be because everybody's trying to figure out who his offensive coordinator is going to be and his defensive coordinator. Is there any coaches on the staff? And they're all they're not going to let him out of their contracts till. Most of them will not be allowed out of their contracts until the head coach, Jeff Hafley, says, okay, I don't want this guy. I want this guy. So there's a good chance some of the coaches, they got a lot of good coaches, could still be with them. When you start talking about 24, 25, 26 coaches. And I'm guessing Jon-Eric Sullivan's going to go, hey, man, I haven't had a chance to evaluate everybody yet. But you're right. They're going to want to know about Tua. I'm guessing Tyreek comes up. I'm guessing all the guys with big numbers on the cap. Do you keep them? Can you work with them? We're in cap hell right now. How do you fix it? What do you do? Are we cheap on free agency? And he's going to talk about how important this draft is this year with a 1, a 2, 3 threes, a 4, 5, and a 7.
Sound like Jeff Ireland.
I did. We got lots of. What do you say? We got lots of.
We need
4s,
2s,
5s, and
and
6s. We need 1s, 2s, and 3s.
You said we're not supposed to play that anymore. Somebody said they should just say Tua stinks and he's done.
I can't do that.
If they did that, I mean, listen, the utmost respect to them if they want to do that. If they did, it'd be fantastic.
I know
it'd be the most refreshing thing ever to come out of that place.
Let me tell you. First of all, if they said that would be it wouldn't matter what anybody did tonight in sport. Some guy in hockey could have 20 goals tonight and NBA player score 80, and it would not come close to the lead story that you would get if they went and bashed Tua. It's not going to happen.
They just go, look, we know he can't play.
They're not doing that.
You know he can't play. We know he can't play. He knows it. We're moving on.
I'm guessing we're going to evaluate it. But honestly, if you paid attention, Jon-Eric Sullivan, I told you this because you didn't listen to it. He's already come out and talked about his core of guys that he likes on this team. And
yeah, but that was a different kind of forum, though. That was like a team interview. This is like he's going to get hammered by Omar and Perk today.
What's with you, man? Why don't you go down and do some hammering? You're the tough guy behind the scenes. Why didn't your little weak ass go out there and ask a couple questions instead of taking shots at everybody?
I'd like to leave
Joe.
him
Let me tell you, Joe Shad he'd love to get a piece of you. He
really?
Would. Oh no, Joe Shad at Palm Beach.
Did he say that to you?
Yeah, he's mad. He's
you guys
still
are
mad.
Friends now?
Yeah, he doesn't like you. Doesn't like you at all. It's sad.
Anyway, that stings.
Yeah, it really sting. I can tell. You're really heartbroken.
And you're well liked over there, mostly, right?
I don't know, but I know you'd never know because you're never around anybody. All right, we got to go to break here. We've got more stuff to get to here besides you trying to get the team.
I just think it would be pretty cool if they did that.
They're not doing it. They'd love to like somehow trade him if they could and get a little something for it. And
So you don't think they go the Bills route and just crush the guy?
Oh. It'd be as bad as what the Bills are getting beat up today.
The
Bills would hand off right to the Miami Dolphins
Yeah.
if they did that here. You take the dumbass thing here.
Or they just go, he's not our guy.
The dumbass.
He's not our
baton.
guy. That's not our problem. Not our mistake.
All right. It's not.
It's on the, you know what? The
It's
people
not.
that they just fired, it's their problem.
It's not, but they don't have to throw it in anybody's face. Like, hey, that'd be hilarious if, like, could you imagine everybody's face if they go, hey, listen, man, that's their mistake, not ours.
Better yet, why don't they bring the owner in there too, and he can do the same thing. I begged him not to take him. I liked Herbert.
One thing
Do
about
the whole thing.
One thing about Stephen Ross, he's not going to get up there and say any of that stuff. He's never done that. He's never done that. Hey, I want to talk about Chevy for just a second, man. They've been making and keeping a promise to America for over 100 years, man. We build dependable trucks for the most dependable people. Hard work is our DNA, same as you. Chevy Trucks can do it all and never ask you to compromise. You can count on power and efficiency, dependability and capability, innovation, and over a century of truck knowledge. Pretty darn good. Your choice. There's a Chevy truck to meet your need. Midsize, full-size, heavy-duty trucks, we got them all. Built for early starts and long weekends, Chevy trucks are as capable and dependable as the people who drive them. Chevy's been making and keeping a promise to America for over 100 years. We build dependable trucks for the most dependable people. Drive Chevrolet, built to handle all your needs, from busy work week to your weekend adventures. Remember, start your drive with Chevrolet. Visit your local South Florida Chevy dealers today. Together, let's drive. running down the
And
running
the
down
Dolphin
the
press
hall.
conference coming up here at 11. So,
Hey, Wood,
yeah.
can I bring up something?
Sure.
I was trying to decide if I should bring it up.
Okay. What do you
It
got?
happened here. I guess it started when I was in California with my father, who had his 92nd birthday and by himself, and we're making some changes out there, but it was good quality time, and I was able to get the week off. Apparently, while I was gone, some woman,
Mm-hmm.
you know more about this because you had to deal with it. I had
Oh, now I know where you're going. Okay.
a woman,
You're going to do this?
yes,
Okay.
said that I promised her tickets. I don't know. You have to help me out. I promised her tickets if the Canes played in the national championship game
Yes. That was the claim.
from 2009.
That was the claim. Yes, correct.
So I ended up getting a few messages from our boss.
Yes.
What do I do? He seemed very concerned.
He was very concerned.
Very concerned that I'm guessing he thought, was it somebody that I had an affair with? So he's protecting. No, I'm being dead serious. I thought,
No, I don't think that was
did
the
he
case.
think that I had written contract that I had promised her, write this down, and that she's going to be able to sue me? I guess he was
a
worried
binding
about that.
oral agreement.
Is that what it was?
I guess.
And she was relentless, apparently.
Quite.
So she did not let up with the radio station.
Mm-hmm.
She was going to get her son a ticket.
Yes.
And I'm not going to say her name or anything. I'm not getting into any of that stuff.
That's probably for the best.
But, I've had some crazy things happen since I've been here
Mhm.
on the radio. I've had people upset about things, meet me in a parking lot when I've had a few weird things happen, and I've been suspended for a few things through the years.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to tell you, this one ranks right up there, to the point that I got a message that I should get back to her. And I go, why would
You
I
should.
get back? Why would I get back to somebody from 2009 that I don't remember? I don't know. Maybe her memory was really good from 16 or 17 years ago.
17 now, yeah. The funny thing is
And by the way, I get it. Those tickets, we had a lot of people last second looking for tickets.
by the
and
way, you were
parking
not
passes.
the only person that got weird requests for tickets like that.
So
You were far from the only
it
person
got
that got
down, and no, I got it.
that. I know I told you about the other one.
Yeah,
Very weird.
but this
But
thing,
you always try to help, and I am being serious. Like, you always try to do really nice things for people, and you had already done something very nice for this person that you don't even know.
I didn't even know. What'd she say? I got her tickets before.
Yeah, in 2009 for the championship game. Then
Who was the championship game in 09? Had to be the
I know the Gators
game
were in.
down
I don't know
there.
who I have no idea.
It
who
was
they played.
Oklahoma, right? I think it was Oklahoma.
Maybe.
So whatever that was, to just think like 16 or 17 years, like it was one of the most disgusting things, and the way it was handled was even worse.
Well, I just don't understand. Like, and I know we joke about it with you, but like, why would somebody think you would have tickets to just give away for that?
Well,
And if you did, wouldn't you give them to like?
first of all,
people
I
you
had
know?
family members asking me for
Yeah.
tickets.
Yeah,
And
so did I.
honestly, not only did I have them, but I had them going, I'll pay up to this amount. And I said, I don't think that's possible at this point. The tickets were going for $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000.
It was $4,000 on the day of the game, and usually, like you said, those prices go down. They just kept going up.
No, it was crazy.
They were Super Bowl tickets.
And you
essentially.
talk about playing the right school that brought a strong fan base. It's hard for me to imagine. And Indiana maxed it out for everybody worried about all these different things. They could have filled the stadium up by themselves twice with their fan base.
Someone said this is so uncomfortable to listen to. Poor Harold.
Anyway,
I found out about this the day of the game. Like,
I
I'd come
thought
home
you
from
knew
doing.
before.
No, I found out about it the day of the game because they had gone through other people here. So nobody told me.
Well, I got a message.
So I found out the day of the game.
I got a message while I was out there. I was on a ride with my dad, taking him driving around and in the mountains a little bit.
Yeah, I heard that you found out the week before, but no one had told me.
So I didn't even respond to it.
Of course not. Why would you?
Like, you think about it and you go, no, I'm not talking to this person. This is a desperate human being. And I get it. I get a lot of people wanting to go, and I had a blast. I'm glad I went. It was worth not sleeping for. It was that
look,
good.
Man, you could have done a power ranking of people that were deserving to go to that game. People that have been Canes fans forever and ticket holders and whatever that didn't get tickets.
Anyway,
wasn't a slam dunk. Like if you were a season ticket holder, I guess it wasn't a slam dunk that you'd gotten tickets. I know a lot of people that didn't.
we didn't get any tickets.
That's like season ticket holders. So
anyway, it was.
You know if Todd got? Did he get in?
I don't know.
He was around here looking. I know
everybody was looking, and I love this because you don't know, and they're going till 7 or 8 days before the game. What was it from one game? What 9 days in between games? 8 was 7,
something like that.
So anyway, once people are going, holy crap, they're in, and then everybody started scrounging for tickets, and the prices were just because I also got this one. I'd love to get tickets, but I don't want to pay $2,000 or $3,000 for them.
Yeah, they want to pay face value for them, sure.
Whatever they started at, what'd they start at, $500 or $600?
I think around $500, I believe.
Well, I'm guessing a lot of people saw the amount of money and sold their friggin' tickets to people from Indiana.
I don't fault anyone, man. If you want to sell your tickets, sell them. You want to go. By the way, that's a lot of money to turn down.
I'll tell you, the people who were there were big fans because that place was loud for both fan bases. It was, it felt 50-50 or no? Or am I exaggerating this? Felt like a 50-50 crowd, or do you feel a little
I don't know. Everyone
Indiana?
Said it was worse than that. I don't know.
I don't know. I couldn't see
it was
certain areas up top. But what a hell of a game, man. Hell of a game. Just it was a crazy one. It just didn't go away. I literally was getting ready to go to the game because I got there early, and I had another message. Have you called her? I go, no, I'm waiting to get sued.
Maybe you will.
I hope.
Can I represent you if you do?
I hope that human being never, ever comes up to me and tells me it was her, because she might not like what I have to say to her or her son. That was crazy.
He's all grown up now, I guess.
Yeah. He's no longer 10 or 11. He's a grown-ass man, can buy his own tickets. Hey, 9 o'clock hour's coming up, man. We got a crazy, crazy day here, man. A lot of stuff. We're still waiting for about 19 head coaches. And by the way, just think about all those I was thinking about this, Woody. 10 new coaches is what it's going to be when you add up 10 head coaches have been fired. Think about the coaching staffs of anywhere from 24, 25 to 26 coaches on each staff. A lot of them will go to different and keep jobs, but there are going to be some guys that
I appreciate that you're trying to change the subject. So now, like, you want to come back, like, during the break, I'll show you. I got to show you something. Because now we got a little problem.
What do we have a problem about?
Come back. You got to go to break anyway.
All right. Hey, right now I want to talk to you about Beverly's Jewelers. Always good news. Nothing wrong with them. Boy, I'll tell you what, Beverly's Jewelers, my jeweler, man, is going to make it great for you, especially if you are looking for the perfect engagement ring. Right now, get a stunning 3-carat certified lab-grown diamond, VVS Clarity, E-color set in a custom-made 14-karat gold engagement ring for just $3,999. That's right, a 3-carat diamond ring for only $3,999. Choose your favorite shape, and larger sizes are available at similar savings, but hurry. This offer will not last forever. You can shop Beverly's Jewelers for anything going on, including right now, besides this unbelievable diamond engagement ring. Boy, I'll tell you what, you got to see it in person. You're going, I don't know, that doesn't sound right. Wait till you see it, and you'll find out why they're selling so many of them. Hey, and I also want to let you know, whether it's an anniversary or birthday or anything else, I've been going to Beverly's Jewelers. I'm not exaggerating, for 35 years, man. Everything my wife wears is from Beverly's Jewelers, and they just got great stuff. Tennis bracelets, diamond studs, whatever it is you're looking for, they've got. And if you need extra cash, Beverly's pays top dollar for your old gold, silver, and jewelry with immediate payment. Hey, man, interest-free free financing, free gift wrapping. I can go on, and a great staff to really make you feel comfortable. Jeff and Amanda over there are fantastic. I love them. Visit Beverly's Jewelers in Fort Lauderdale or online at bevjewelers.com. Beverly's Jewelers, where South Florida gets engaged.
A 3-game road trip in Winnipeg. The puck drops at 8, and the game can be heard on 560 a.m. And Joe, great to see you have your big shovel out this morning as you're digging yourself into a nice little hole here. You ready? Now you're going to have to deal with the situation here because we have a.
There's no situation to deal with. The game is over.
Sir, you there?
There's no way.
Yeah, Joe.
Yeah.
Hello, Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I had to call on behalf of my wife, Barb. She's very distraught. You know, I don't know how else. I mean, I don't know what kind of deal you guys had. It was a long time ago, but you were very generous with tickets with her in the past. You know, she's a huge college football fan, and she went to the Virginia Tech game in the Orange Bowl in 2009, and you were very generous with her. She got great tickets. I guess they were from WQAM tickets that were meant for sales.
They had to be, because honestly, I would have never bought somebody I didn't know tickets. I'm not that.
Yeah.
I'm nice, but not that nice.
I believe they were meant for salespeople at your place. I don't know how that works.
Yes, yeah, probably. You sound like you do know this place, because give me a call. Paul does usually give his tickets to sales anyway, or his neighbors. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So my point is, you've been very generous to my wife in the past. You've gotten her Bark to the Park tickets with the Marlins, and she really enjoys taking our poodle out there. But Joe, you made a promise to her, because she told you that she never thought the Canes would be any good again.
I figured that.
You specifically told her, if they ever make the national championship game, I got you.
Who?
Now,
can I ask you, who remembers something from 17 years ago? And did she expect me to buy these tickets for $2,000 to $3,000 a piece?
Well, Joe, our son was 3 years old at the time, and she vowed to take him to a national championship game. And here it is. You tell her, I got you. What would that mean? I got you. Don't worry.
17 years ago? It was 17 years ago. She said 17 years ago.
Joe, our child was 3, and now he is a 20-year-old male thinking, I'm going to go check out the national championship. My mom's friend said that I would be able to go watch my Hurricanes, because her son became a Hurricanes fan. Even through all the lean years and all Randy Shannon and Al Golden. Can you believe being a fan of that team through those years? I mean, he had a Kyle Wright poster.
Listen,
Kyle Wright poster.
I hope you and your whole, I don't want to fight with you and your family. I hope you guys enjoyed the game from home and got some extra sleep.
This is not going to be a fight, because my legal team is taking action on this. He's really.
What legal action is there to take?
Joe, there's a binding contract. If you say I got you to a person who you've given tickets to in the
17
past.
years ago, if I did say that, like, hey, if the Canes ever go, make sure you call me. I'll make sure you got tickets. They're going to be really easy to get.
But Joe, you even gave her Miami Fusion tickets for championships. And you've taken care of her all these years. I don't know how you cannot remember my wife Barb. I can't believe it. And she's too distraught. Let me tell you,
I don't remember your wife. I'm sorry. 17 years
know.
ago,
Joe,
I don't remember who my kids were dating. Like, no shot. Seriously.
Joe, my son grew up with he had a large gap. He had a large gap in his teeth. Okay, so for years. My wife's getting these free tickets from you, okay? And my mind starts to wander. Why is this guy giving my wife tickets to Bark in the Park, okay? And the zoo stuff, all the zoo stuff, anytime there was a zoo event, it was so easy to get tickets. So now you
just figure that because I had extra tickets to go to a Ron McGill deal or go to the Bark in the Park with 3,000 of your best friends, that you figured that I was going to have tickets to go to this friggin' national championship game? Come on, brother. Come on, man. This has gone long enough.
I'm a loyal listener, and I always hear about these sales guys going to all these games and stuff. You guys have to have an allotment of tickets.
No, we don't. We did not. We do. We are, but this was a separate deal. We did not have extra tickets like Woody, did you give away any tickets while I was gone?
I did not.
Yeah, we don't have any tickets. Hey, by the way, I appreciate it. You tell your wife to please forget my name and number. I really appreciate the whole thing.
No, I can't believe you forgot her. I can't believe you forgot her.
All right, well, it's over. Good luck next year. Maybe the Canes will go back and there'll be another place, or we'll call and you can go to Bark in the Park and After Dark and everything else.
Did you just say if the Canes are back in it? Maybe if the Canes are back in, is that a maybe?
No, there's no maybe. I said you can buy your own tickets. I'm not promising it. Why would I promise
something?
anything?
Can we give them something?
What are you going to give them?
I don't know.
Well, don't give them. Keep listening.
we
Maybe
go
we'll have
on?
giveaways. Hey, we got to go now. Appreciate your call. It's been great. I've really enjoyed talking to you. Tell your wife I said hello. Thank you so much.
Oh,
that
my
was great.
goodness. I can't believe it, Joe.
All right. You take care. Are you happy now?
No, I'm not happy. That was very uncomfortable. To be quite honest.
It was.
Imagine how freaked out our boss is right now.
Oh, my God. He's probably wondering, lawsuit. Call Claudia, lawsuit.
Will you let me rep you? if you do get sued?
Would it be free?
Yeah, I won't charge you. I'll charge you in tickets.
What ticket?
Get out to a Dolphin game or whatever.
Oh, man. Anyway, yeah.
That's tough, man.
What a few days it was.
Yeah. And the funny thing, too, is like I told you were not the only, I don't know anyone else, but you were not the only person to get like a person that you don't even really know to send you like this heartfelt request for tickets.
So there's different groups through the years of working here, especially when they know we have the rights to the teams.
Mm-hmm.
So we do. We usually do. They didn't have any zero tickets for the national championship game because even the people that get all the tickets for all the Heat and Panther games,
they were asking.
They were asking for tickets. So nobody was able to get tickets. But so here's the group I've had, and so I'm just totally out of the business of getting tickets for anybody, including family.
You've had a rough go of getting tickets for people though,
so
because you'll buy them and then they'll like they don't want them anymore. Or they're not good enough, or
they thought I got them free after I got them.
Yeah.
That was last year. That was 4 tickets, and that was very expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And I told them, please don't ever ask me again. And so the second group is, besides that group is, you got tickets. Where are they?
Where are the seats?
And they were good, but they're upper deck. And he goes, oh, we were hoping to get better tickets.
Mm-hmm. What about the where is the parking situation?
The parking ticket.
Always got to get a parking
They didn't
pass.
want to go if they couldn't get a parking ticket.
Yeah,
And I go,
yeah.
well, a lot of people take Uber.
Mm-hmm.
And they go, wow,
Not
we
these
were
people.
kind of hoping that don't you get parking passes?
Of course.
And so I'm just like, what am I doing?
Mm-hmm.
What I just at this point in my life, I got when you have grandkids, you no longer want to deal with that stuff. Like younger, you might put up with it and try to work to keep peace and with friends and family and then here's the other great group, the ones that ask at the last second.
Oh yeah,
people that call 2 days before the national championship game and ask for tickets. Can you grab a couple of tickets? Sure. I got like 10. I was waiting for you to call. I can't believe you called. What a great time. They're going. They start at 500. They're now going for like 4,000 or 5,000.
What's your email? I'll send them right over. People don't like this was the equivalent of a Super Bowl ticket. There were not tickets floating around for this.
No, it was
and a lot of Canes fans did not get the opportunity to buy them. So like there were people that were far more deserving.
A lot of Indiana people didn't get to buy them, but they still came looking for them. Yeah, it was a crazy one. Anyway, I hope
that was really, really rough.
This never goes.
Jesus,
and I will admit, I'm the first guy to admit sometimes. Say, hey, people won't take no. I go, I'll try, and I said I'll try, but I don't, and I get myself in trouble, man. People, hey, can you do this? Can you? I don't know. And if I do it, it's going to take a while because there's another one that gets me in trouble sometimes. Anyway,
someone said, "I got you" is up there with grab a salad, enjoy the baby, and big horse. I got you. That's great.
Oh man, I wish I was. That one really. That one got me. That one was like, and the fact that people were at the station thought there might be a lawsuit.
There still may be.
What kind of lawsuit? For what?
I don't know. But I'll do the legal research and I will rep you. I got you on this,
I don't
man.
want you. No, I don't want Dark Cloud Head. Look, I don't want you doing that.
Worst case scenario, you lose.
What's that mean?
It means you pay for
a
future tickets. I don't know. Whatever they claim their damages were.
Anyway. We got a lot more important stuff going on besides you trying to stir it up now. I don't know why you think it's so funny. Why do you?
I didn't bring it up. You brought it up. I thought the story was hilarious. I've been telling people, all around the place about it. I think it's wild, but
I know. You have, because I've had everybody here in the FM stations ask me what happened.
Well, because it turned into a big thing, but that was only because, well, you know why. I don't get too much into it, but
you take a shot at the boss.
I don't like taking shots. He's a nice guy to me.
If I didn't know any
but
better.
he did not, probably shouldn't have handled it that way.
All right.
He could have just let it go, or
let it go.
Sorry, we can't. We don't have tickets.
Let it go.
I don't know. Maybe I should have just gotten her the tickets. I have your credit card number.
That's great, Woody.
Maybe I should have just gotten her the tickets, and she could have enjoyed herself. The kid, whole family.
Hey, man.
Would you have even noticed if you had the charge on there?
Yeah, I would have noticed at some point.
If there was like 20 grand on there from SeatGeek, you would have noticed.
All right, we're done. I'm going to break here. You've absolutely worn me out, and then you had the husband on the air. You cannot make that up, brother. Only you. We'll take a quick break. I was going to read something. I'm not even going to read it. Goodbye. You are too much, Woody. You sure enjoy it, man. Wait till one of these things happens to you somewhere down the line. God,
I only got asked by one person that works here, but he asked like everyone in the building. So
yeah,
I was just one of the people that he happened to ask.
Why would he think? Now, I'm not taking shots at Todd, but why would he think you could just find 3 tickets or 4 tickets?
He offered to pay for them.
No, it doesn't matter. There was no tickets.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, you call the Canes and go, oh my God, Joe, we're hoping you call. We got 8 left for you. Don't worry about paying us. Just
maybe thought, I do the pregame show, and they would be like, hey, oh wow, you do the pregame show? How many do you need?
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right. Hey, listen, we've got some.
It's a good game though.
Well, it was a hell of a game. But hey, the good news is nobody missed it, man. At home ain't bad. Coverage, get to see everything.
Yeah, but then you wouldn't have been next to Belichick and his granddaughter and the podcast girl.
Will you stop?
You made a lot of friends there. And now apparently you've made some enemies.
That was.
So you win some, lose some,
I
right?
got to tell you, that was unbelievable.
Which one?
The
situation that just happened, or the box?
The box.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
No, you had a cool group in there.
That was
an unusual group.
Yeah, a little bit of every. If somebody would have told you, because we're going up, and my wife doesn't know anybody.
Mm-hmm.
This honestly, and I'm not taking a shot at my wife. And if you're listening for some crazy reason, I love you. But she doesn't go to a lot of sporting events.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't really know that much about sports. It's not a shot. She's just doing other things. And
well, why would she know who that is?
So anyway, on our way up, you can imagine, she said, do you have any idea who we're sitting with? And I said, really, I don't. And we get up there, and right off the bat, I see Stuart Miller from Lennar Corporation, who's a good friend. And I see Jimmy Johnson. They're talking to each other. So that was cool. And I went, wow.
A lot of name dropping going on here. Wow.
No, because I'm just telling you, give you an idea. If you're going to accuse me of name dropping, I'm not going to do it.
All right, go ahead. Tell us the rest.
So then we get in there and the whole thing with,
Belichick.
The Belichick didn't come right in. First, the girlfriend comes in.
Well, Belichick was on TV, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was doing a lot of TV. So she came up because she's friends. Belichick and Jimmy are friends. So she came up and came in, and Jimmy introduced us to her. And
you actually met her?
Yeah, she talked to us.
Wow.
We talked to her. Yeah,
wow.
Very nice. Was it?
Really?
Very nice, yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, and then the Braxton Berrios' former girlfriend sat down. She was in there.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of good Canes people there. There are a lot, and so without getting in the whole list, but it was like, you can imagine all the people in that area had their cameras up clicking. So that's how.
Well, there was a flavor for everyone in there. You had politicians, athletes, coaches, podcast hosts,
everything.
Yeah, you had a little of everything.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
We had a guy with us that broke every record in swimming.
Talking about Michael Phelps?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know he was at the game. He was in your box too?
Yeah.
Michael Phelps?
Cam Ward?
What do you mean a guy who broke the record in swimming? Michael Phelps, man.
Yeah. I was trying not to name drop. You said not to name drop. Cam Ward comes in. Poor Cam, he didn't have any peace.
What is this? So you're sitting around with all these people? Like,
I told my wife, I said, you know what?
My goodness.
I've been in a few of these boxes. This is not normal.
Oh.
But
Michael
it's a
Phelps.
big game. Everybody's looking for a place to sit or stand in the back.
Yeah.
But it was Woody, whatever, man. Hey, speaking of all that.
You could have brought those people in there with you. They would have had a time of their lives in there.
Right.
Imagine that.
Oh, my God.
Hey, this is Michael Phelps. This is Jimmy Johnson. Oh, you know Cam Ward? He was a quarterback last year, first pick. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you could go through the whole thing.
This girl here is dating Bill Belichick.
Oh, you stop. By the way, everybody knows that story. Everybody in and outside of sports knows who
that
she
one.
is.
Everyone does know.
Everybody knows what she looks like, even when he's not around.
So
They
I
know
don't
who she
know
is.
like what the target audience for the Braxton girlfriend podcast is. But my wife, I don't think knew who she was.
What?
I don't know. Like I don't know who her audience is.
I do. My nieces back home
Mhm.
asked me about her. 2 of them, same age as my
They
25.
saw the picture.
And by the way, all of my daughter's friends all follow her. She is really cool.
Okay.
With she's in her 20s too, right?
Probably.
She's cool.
So girls in their 20s as the
well,
target.
if you've got
target
somewhere
audience.
between 8 and 13 million followers, she's making a lot of money.
Did you just say between 8 and 13 million followers?
Yes.
You've really looked into this.
Everybody told me. You think I went to look and find out what you think? I went home and researched it?
Which politician? Marco Rubio was in your booth, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
I'm not getting into anything else.
Was there anyone else in this now? Because now Michael Phelps, like that's a big name. He's the best swimmer ever.
Ray Lewis?
Ray Lewis was in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just trying not to throw out names.
Was Brady in there too or no?
No. But that was the joke because they were sitting together and everybody goes, hey, Belichick and Brady's girls are here. What's going on? That was the whole, that was part of the conversation when everybody got away and could like start talking about everybody. Couldn't do it while you were there. So, hey, Woody,
Did
besides.
you take any pictures with these people?
I did not take one
Really?
picture.
Michael Phelps?
I did not take
Can I ask you an honest question?
one picture. And
Did
I
you
did not
recognize
eat
Michael
anything.
Phelps?
No.
You didn't?
I didn't know right away. No.
Because you called him the swimmer who won all the
said
medals.
I couldn't think of his name.
Okay. I just happen to know that someone told me he was at the game.
Great. Okay.
Well, he was big,
into it.
man.
He sounded like a
He was
big UM guy, man.
Greatest
He was
swimmer ever.
getting after it. And it was a pretty good crowd.
I wonder what tier that box was too. Like, I wonder like how much further up the tier you could get with celebrity boxes, right?
I don't know. I'm guessing.
Like, I wonder who Brady was sitting with.
I'm guessing he could have been in. I don't know, because he had the owner with him of the team.
Yeah,
I'm guessing they didn't have bad seats.
probably not.
Mr. Davis. What's Al Davis's kid's name?
No idea.
Me neither. Anyway, they were down, but they had something else was going on. They weren't there for entertainment except to watch Fernando Mendoza throw the football. First overall pick, maybe, for the Raiders.
Texter says, I don't care about any of these people. All I want to hear about is Belichick's girlfriend. How hot was she? What was she wearing?
You know, it's funny. 3 guys, including Vladdy Daddy, goes, all right, waited to get away from you because you don't like that talk about women being hotter, like you feel like you're cheating on your wife. And he asked me, he said, all right, what's she look like? I said, she looked good. I'm not one that thinks.
But I've already told you I'm not a fan.
Okay. I
think that the relationship is a little bit unusual.
Dude, I don't care about. Why would I care?
Because it's weird.
How about this? How about this one? Listen to me. Bill Belichick getting a 24-year-old.
No, it's great for him. For her, it's,
By the way, he looks like he's
Mark Davis.
Mark Davis, thank you. He's all in.
On what?
His girl.
Oh, Belichick?
I could tell that. It's good, man.
Someone asked if they can get tickets to Tua's next game.
That's funny.
Yeah, I don't know what town that'll be in, but
let me ask you a question. Tua's next home. Can't go in the Northeast.
You talking about Canada?
No, Northeast, as in cold weather cities.
I thought you were talking about the Canadian Football League.
No.
The Argonauts or something.
Hey, you know what?
They send him the same place they sent Pat White.
Tua's going to laugh. He's laughing all the way to the bank because no matter what.
He's a very wealthy man, yes.
He's getting that money. That money's coming in no matter what. The team's just trying to decide the best way for them to try to get something out of this. That's it. Anyway. Yeah, I've opened myself up now with all this stuff with it's amazing, honestly. And we've done a lot of shows on her, right? Belichick's girlfriend.
Mm-hmm. No, it's incredibly bizarre that you were sitting in a booth with her. It's even worse that you didn't want to tell me about it. I had to find out from a picture.
Because of this.
I had to find out. Someone sent us a picture.
All right. She's and those two are bonding, man. Those two,
Who, Belichick and the girl?
No, the two girls you see there.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Alex, Earl.
she must have a podcast, the Belichick girl.
Oh, I don't know.
I would assume
How
she
would
does.
I know? Why don't you? Hey, you know what you can do tonight? You can spend time
sure.
and try to figure out what everybody has.
She's going to be very wealthy. Speaking of wealthy.
Did you tell me she's still not over Braxton Berrios?
Yeah, she apparently went online and had a rough. She's very upset. She needed someone on Monday night to comfort her. You were not there for her.
How about a Braxton might have been at that game? Former UM wide receiver and a damn good one. I saw him returning kicks. A couple days before the Texans, right?
I don't know if he was there or not. There are a lot of former Canes, though.
I got to tell you, Braxton does well with the ladies. One thing we do know, Braxton Berrios does really well.
Well, that's not all that surprising, is it?
No. I've always felt like Braxton, if he's not doing this, is going to be running a company or something, isn't he? Pretty smart guy. He's going to be just fine. We got
any more?
No,
any
I'm
more
done.
Feedback from this?
I'm trying to get back on something else here.
Someone said you went viral.
I don't know about that.
I thought initially it looked like you were stuffing your face with something, but there's a light fixture behind you. That's what it was.
By the way, there was unbelievable food. I mean,
if you look at the photo, so it's up on our YouTube stream right now. So I'm looking at the photo.
Yeah.
And I thought you were eating like some kind of.
Oh, it looks like I have a chicken wing or something.
Yeah, it looks like you're eating like a gigantic hot dog or pretzel or something.
But if you look in front,
it's a light fixture.
You see that beer? That's what I was drinking. And you notice next to it, I had a water because I'm on this new thing about if I drink, I got to drink a lot of water.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so she's wearing a snakeskin jacket.
Yeah. No. She was.
The other girl looks like it was like a blank football jersey.
I don't know, but it's probably an expensive outfit. Okay. She's doing just fine. Yeah.
Snakeskin, huh?
I don't know.
They don't have to kill the snake to make those, though, right? Don't the snakes, they shed their skin?
I had somebody ask me, Woody, now you got me going. So I had somebody going, hey, would your wife have been upset if she, I go, no. Well, how do you know? Because she's sitting right next to me.
I think the other situation got more men in trouble. The porn star thing.
Why?
Because she flashes on the screen.
Most
and it's
people have no idea who she is.
I would disagree with that.
Most people I would have had no idea who she was. Except I knew that I've seen this stuff before.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, people know who she is now. She's been around this run.
But they've done this on TV with her before.
Yeah.
And accidentally or randomly
Accidentally, yeah. That's a conspiracy theory.
She's a big Canes fan.
Sure.
Because you don't like her profession, she's got a right to go to the game.
What do you mean I don't like her? Don't group me into that. I'm perfectly fine with her work.
You are.
There's nothing wrong with what she's doing.
Oh, Woody. Are you
making
done?
an honest living?
Are you seriously? Hey, we got this press conference coming up at 11 o'clock.
Someone said, imagine if Braxton was still with her, what a double date would be Braxton and Bill. He did play for.
Did he?
I think he did, right?
He played for the Jets.
No, I think he wasn't he
played for the Jets. He played for the Jets. Hell, he made the Pro Bowl for special teams on his returns.
Someone said Berrios was there.
Oh, my God. Oh, that'd have been
I
tough.
didn't see him there.
Honestly, if he was there and you just broke up with somebody recently, that'd be a tough one.
The real question should be who's running the cameras, who's the degenerate, recognizing the porn star at these games.
Yeah.
70,000 people, and they found her.
That's true. By the way, that's a good one.
What's the difference, man? People get all
I'm just wondering how many people at home saw the picture and went, hey, honey, that's the porn star.
Someone
many.
says, can you imagine how disgusted that poor girl gets when she sees that toad Belichick naked? There you go. That's
I'll guarantee you more people were interested in her picture than anybody else in that box.
Braxton was drafted by the Patriots, by the way.
He was?
Yeah.
I didn't think. Oh, you know what? Damn, he was. And then
Sixth
he went
round.
to the Jets.
Yeah. But that must have been Belichick in 2018, right? That had to be Belichick.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So they have history.
Now you're telling me she's trying to get back with Braxton. I didn't know that.
Who's trying to get? I didn't see she's trying to get back when I said she was
Oh.
upset.
Yeah.
She was upset.
I could see. Remember how the other one took it? She didn't take it well at all. Braxton.
Someone asked if we can replace Omar time on the station with Alex Earl.
I don't know if we can get her on.
I'm guessing not after this.
What'd she do? She didn't do anything wrong except sit there and look good. Is that okay?
I'm guessing she'd think this conversation's weird.
Oh, there's a. I'll tell you what.
Get to this. Oh, because you screwed that lady on the tickets.
I don't mind telling you. That box had a little bit of everything in there, man.
Something for everyone?
Something for everybody. And by the way, the food and everything, and fantastic. I didn't have any food, but I did drink a bunch of those little cold beers there, man. I felt that needed to be done. All right, now my phone's blowing up here. So
Really?
We've just really got it going. Hey, we're
Is it
gonna
Belichick?
No, we're gonna get back to but one of his friends. Jimmy Johnson is going to join us. We're going to talk to Hall of Fame coach Jimmy Johnson, talk a little bit about the Canes football game as well as the Miami Dolphins. That's all coming up next. Stay with us.
WQAM.